Hello, everyone. Yes, I am Agni James. Welcome. This is going to be another edition of the Agni James Show, or we call it Evolve Yourself TV. We call it a lot of things. But welcome in. We're going to do some great stuff tonight. We're going to do some really fun stuff. As you can see by the title, people typically read titles of things. We're going to be doing a guided meditation, and that's always the focus of the show. I'm doing a lot of different content now, but at the end of the day, guided meditation is always the focus of the show. Oh, I have to send out something real quick. Let me do that. I am sorry that I'm doing this while we are streaming. Okay, and we are done. It was just one of those things. Okay, but anyway, and there's another thing I need to do. Wow, I'm really not doing the things I need to do before stream today. I am not prepared. Okay, I need to do this. You got to get certain things in order. You got to get certain things in order, and then I need to turn my phone on silent so it's not ringing during the guided meditation, because that would be super unprofessional. And as you can tell, I am the most professional streamer on the planet. No one is more professional than me. Let me tell you. People think that they're professional, but I am the most professional human being that has ever walked the earth. All right. I'm wearing a tux right now. I'm that professional that I'm wearing a tux. I'm not even wearing a suit. And it's not even appropriate to be wearing a tux right now, but I'm wearing a tux. And if you can't see it, that's on you, all right? Your perception is skewed if you can't see my tux. Hey, Danny John is here. Good to see you. Okay, all right. I feel live. Now that Danny John is here, I feel live. I have a lot of gratitude for Danny John. Danny John, do you want me to espouse all the wonderful kindness and caring and loving, kind acts that you've done for me in the last 24 hours, or should we keep that locked away? Danny John is an amazing human being. Those of you who don't know, Danny John is actually a doctor. She's a doctor of psychology. And, we talk on a regular basis, not in a client-patient setting, obviously, because, we're best fucking friends, but in hey, we're good friends. Let's discuss your amazing theory that you got going on. Danny John is, she's got a PhD in psychology, and she's writing a theory. She's creating a theory. She's been working on it the last 8 years, and it's a pretty badass thing. I'm not going to give away the details because she can explain it away better than I can, but those of you who are out there, you're gonna just you wait. 5 years from now, you're gonna be hearing her name a lot. She's in with the cool kids now. But anyways, let me tell you about my day. By the way, Danny John, how's your day going? How's everything going with you? You say, yep, maybe I can come in the show and talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. But you're saying come in the show. Say come on our show. This channel has always been as much about you as it is as me, as far as I'm concerned. Those of you who don't know, Danny John was a major force in convincing me to be on here doing guided meditations. I might not be here on doing this. I definitely wouldn't be here under the Evolve Yourself TV name. I would be here, with some other name, right? But yeah, she is a major force and one of the reasons why I'm out here streaming. So if you like the content, you can thank her. And if you hate the content, you can hate her, right? Actually, no, I would say if you hate the content, just don't watch the channel. You can still like her. You don't need to like me, but you can like her and then just don't watch the stream. Danny, you say, yeah, but absolutely, that would be fucking amazing. I want that to happen. When you're ready, whenever you're ready, I want you to come on and we will discuss the theory. We will fucking we'll do in-depth. Maybe we'll do 12 shows. 12 shows where you come on for half an hour, and you discuss a certain part, because the scope of the theory is huge. There's a lot of content embedded in it, right? It's not something you can be like, oh, here's a sentence and now you know what the theory is, right? So you'd have to come on and do different segments, and it would be a cool thing to check out. So maybe, yeah, we're gonna have to talk. We should actually talk about this because you're bringing it up on stream, but we haven't really had this conversation in a while. But I'm definitely in. I'm in for this. Let's see, Dan John, you say good. You just got back from dinner at Melissa's house. Ooh, nice. You're, excuse me, when you say Melissa, I believe you're referring to your old boss, correct? Who you were also friends with, who was also pretty knowledgeable about the Theosophical Society, right? Yes, yeah, that's great. That is so cool that you're still in contact with her. She is, from everything you've I've never, okay, this is interesting. Sometimes you never meet a person, but you know the person who's vouching for them so well that you know that it's going to be a really good person. And this Melissa person is one of those people. It's like, I know she's a good person. I know she's a kind, caring, compassionate human being and is trying to help the world. And even though I've never met her, it's secondhand knowledge. In philosophy, we talk a lot about secondhand knowledge. It's always a big thing to talk about. Let's see, you say, yes, she gave you a bunch of feminine energy books. Yeah, Danny John has been exploring feminine energy really in depth, and she's also been, I think you're also exploring masculine energy, right? You've also been exploring masculine energy. Hey, Chad guy's here. How's it going, friend? Good to see you, man. Yo, yo, yo. No, so you do the two yos. I'm one of those guys that always has to one-up you. So I'll say yo, yo, yo. And then we'll see how this goes, Chad guy. We're gonna see how this goes, man. Like, how are you doing tonight? What did you cook? Have you been in the Discord tonight? I don't think you have. It's like you're big at coming in there and like posting, making a bunch of posts, for a few days, and then you're just gone. You're in and out. You're in and out, man. That's your MO, dude. I posted another picture of a steak. I cooked another steak tonight, and I posted a picture of it. This one's a little prettier because it has onions on it and it has bell peppers that Danny John, of all people, actually cooked. I have leftover bell peppers that Danny John cooked. All right, so it's pretty badass. It's pretty badass here. Doesn't Agni look like Homelander? I don't know who Homelander is. I do not know who Homelander is. I know who Zoolander is. Are you saying I'm Zoolander? I don't think I look like Zoolander. Do I look like Zoolander? Is he like a version of Homelander? I don't know what that is. But anyways, yes. All right. And Dan John, you say polarity. I do not know what's specifically what you're referring to when you say polarity. I don't know the context, so you'll have to elaborate a little bit. Tell me what you mean by polarity. By the way, the fact that Danny John is in here and chatting brings a smile. It brings a smile to my heart. It brings a smile. My heart is literally smiling because Danny John is in here chatting. She usually doesn't say much. She usually, she'll be lurking in the background. She's not as deceptive as not deceptive. She's not as sneaky. She's not as sneaky as my channel shaman, JT Farms. My channel shaman, JT Farms, is very very mysterious and dark, and is like really like deep into the shadows, right? And is like in the shadow realm and is like peering in here from another dimension. Danny John is a lurker. She'll lurk for a lot. So it's cool when she's in here and she's actually chatting up a storm. Let's see. Okay, what do we got going here? Chad guy, you say. Or Danny John, you say masculine and feminine polarity. Oh, masculine and feminine polarity. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Am I a good person to go to for feminine polarity or masculine polarity? I don't even know what kind of person I am. I mean, there are certain aspects of myself that are very feminine. Chad guy, I don't know if... Okay, now you're lurking. See, now Chad guy is trying to be mysterious too. Look at this. Chad guy's jealous. He's like, wait a minute, JT Farms is lurking. Danny John typically lurks. Now I'm going to start lurking. You're joining the lurking crowd, huh, Chad guy? Chad guy, you can't keep your mouth shut, man. You're definitely going to be talking. There's no way you're going to be lurking. I know you, man. Dude, we've come to know each other pretty well. The truth is, it's like, for all you know, we went to the same high school. We live in the same town or something, right? I know you supposedly live in California or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, who knows, right? You could have grew up in Chicago. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Anyways, Danny John, so yeah, part of me, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by my bot that said Chad Guy has delved deep into the source of creation and is experiencing lurking bliss. What I was saying is there are parts of me that are very feminine and have a strong connection with the feminine energy. I'm very empathetic, when someone's talking, I'm listening really well and I'm listening really intensely and I care about that person and I care about what they have to say. And and I can offer guidance and assistance if need be, and I try to be a very active learner. So yes, but I also have tons of that masculine energy too. I did 5 workouts today, literally 5 fucking workouts today. It was crazy. Hey, Taylor Jade is here. How's it going? Good to see you. Taylor Jade is awesome. Definitely check her out. Did my automatic shout out did not come up for you, Taylor? I need to fix this. I'm going to fix this right now because that bothers me. I know I have you there. Taylor Jade 82. Give me 1 second. Let me fix this right now. I'm going to load it up. See what's going on here with my chat bot. Let's see. Settings, support. Now we got to go here. Events. Taylor Jade, where are you? Oh my God, I don't have it. It's gone. It's either I never put it in or it's gone. Well, we gotta add you in. Let's add you in, Taylor. Sorry about this. Everyone's doing a good job hanging in there, man. While I do this, Taylor J, I think it was 82, right? Let me double check. I gotta look at something. Taylor J, 92. Was that your birthday? Was that 1992? Is that the deal? People like to put that if that's their birthday. Let me get this in here though. Taylor Jade 92. All right, because otherwise I'll forget, Taylor. That's my main thing going on right now. I want to make sure people get credit who deserve credit. Okay, there we go. Cool. All right, Taylor Jade, you are now in the shout out list. So you should be getting a shout out whenever you type something in chat. 92. Yeah, you were born in 92. That's cool. 92 was a good year. You were born in an awesome year. 1992 was amazing. That was the year before Tool released Sober, I believe. That's one of my favorite songs of all time. 92, the early 90s, the early to mid 90s were an incredible time period. So that's badass that you were born in 92. You just had your birthday on Friday the 13th in May. It's so fun, but you're old now. What are you? Old? You're not old. So that means, let me think. You are you 29? Are you 29? You're saying 29 is old, or is it 30? Are you 30 now? You're one of those two. I can't do math today. I guess it depends on when it was. It was on the 13th in May. All right, so you're 30. Well, welcome to your 30s. It's not that bad. All it means is that you'll start getting some more aches and pains in your body, but you are an awesome athlete. Those of you who don't know, Taylor Jade is an incredible athlete. You were Junior Olympics, right? You were on the Junior Olympics, right? That's pretty amazing. And you're competing for the regular Olympics, or something like that. And you have crazy athletic skill. You have athletic talent. I mean, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, so definitely, you're going to have more aches and pains in your body, as you go through your 30s, right? You feel the joint pains. Yeah, it's the second I turned 30, I started feeling joint pains too. It's and that's the thing. See, here's the thing about athletes. I'm an athlete, you're an athlete, but you're a more serious athlete than me. I just work out all the time, right? You actually have a team that you're part of, and you're in the fucking Junior Olympics. You're a legit hardcore athlete. I'm just the dude that's doing yoga, on his own and working out in his house, right? And going for runs and stuff. But anyways, yeah, we're I feel people who work out all the time, we don't get cardiovascular problems. Our cardiovascular health is going to be kicking ass. We're going to be in great cardiovascular health our whole lives. But what we start developing are joint problems, because it's we're working out all the time. We're doing all sorts of intense movements. We're competing, right? So it puts a lot of strain on our bodies, on the joints at least. So we're going to be in great shape. We're going to feel clear and good, and our blood's going to be pumping and flowing really well throughout our whole lives. That's one cool thing about being an athlete. But we're going to be oh, my back, or oh, my elbow feels weird today, or oh, why do I have this pain in the neck? I think the best thing for that actually is to basically just get daily massages. And this is one of the reasons why I kind of want to move to Thailand. When I took a trip to Thailand 5 years ago, guess how much it cost for a 2-hour massage with tip in Thailand? This is amazing. You'll never guess this. This is unfucking believable. Let's see. Taylor, you say I definitely feel the joint pains. Yeah, thank you, man. You're gassing me up. Yeah, I mean, dude, you're a high energy person too. If you're an athlete, you're a high energy person. You come in, you're bursting with life. I can feel your energy through the chat. You're ready to go. You're ready to compete. And I compete. I'm a chess player. I compete in the chess world. And you have to be strong to compete in the chess world. Not just mentally, but physically, right? Because I mean, think about it. You're sitting there like sometimes you'll play a game of chess in a tournament for like 7 hours. Like, can you imagine just sitting there with all your focus and attention just like on that board for like 7 hours straight, and you're just grinding. You're just grinding, and it's just a battle between you and another opponent, right? You're spending like 45 minutes, like an hour on a single move. I mean, that takes a lot of energy. It's intense. Like I work, one of the reasons why I was working out so much was because I competed in the Chicago Open from 2012 to 2014. It's the biggest chess tournament in the Midwest every year. And if you work out, if you're in great physical shape, you got the stamina to be there and focus on that board for 7 hours if you need to. I mean, it's pretty intense, Let's see, Junior Olympics, then USA. You can't wait to compete again. Yeah, competing is so much fun. And I was actually just talking to a friend today. I think I'm going to compete in the Chicago Open next year again. And I'll do prep streams like where I'm doing training, because I have like all these. I have a big training routine. I'm sure you do too. You're an athlete. You're more of an athlete than I am. I'm sure you do training all the time, right? And I have my own training regimen that I do for the Chicago Open and for when I compete in chess tournaments, right? You got to be tactically sharp. You got to be positionally on point. You have to have your opening theory, like fucking down pat. You got to be ready to go. You have to be good with time management. There's all these elements of chess, right? And just like the Olympics and just like everything you compete in, right? Let's see. Taylor Jade, you say you literally will work out or practice and hit the ice baths quickly after to combat as much as you can, or Epsom salt baths. Yeah, it helps, dude. That's so cool that you do the ice baths. Like, I don't know anyone else that does. You know what? Is that even a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. You hit the ice baths. So is that good for the joints? Because if that is the case, you might convince me. You might convince me to start doing ice baths. Like, I like going out in the cold anyway. I don't care. I do the Wim Hof stuff, so I'll be out there in 0-degree weather, like with no clothes on, just kind of walking around outside. I mean, maybe I'll have boxers on, right? But hey, Taylor, you might appreciate this. Here, let me show you something. I have a cool picture I can bring up of me doing my thing. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. This is all right. Let me bring this up so everyone can see. I'll bring this up. Give me 1 second. We got to go back over here. We got to do this. We got to display. We got to go to window capture. There's always like all these things you got to do, All right. So, yeah. Let me load it up bigger, because we always got to make it. We always got to make it bigger. So wait. This, and we need it. I can't make it any bigger than this. Open original. There we go. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. So, oops. There we go. No, it's not letting me do it. I think I have to switch it off. Okay, hold on. Let's see. This, I don't know if it's going to allow me to do this. We're getting in weird territory right now. You got to go to Discord. We go to Open Original. We have it now. Okay, we got it good. We should be good now, right? But I got to switch over. Okay, it wants to mess with me a little bit. Give me a second here. If I just mess with it a little bit, I'll eventually get it working. Well, okay, whatever. We're just going to go with this picture. So anyways, yeah, I love the cold. This is me shoveling my friend's driveway in the freezing cold right around the time we had that polar vortex in Chicago. Remember when that polar vortex came through a few years ago and everyone's like, oh my God, there's cold out. I'm like, no, mind over matter. Let's do this, Let's go out in the cold. But so anyways, I shoveled his entire driveway barefoot and just in boxers. My buddy came along with me and did the same thing. We shoveled the driveway. It was a good experience. You just got to be intense. You can work up a lot of energy and a lot of internal heat if you're an intense person, right? And so I wasn't slouching. I wasn't like, oh, let's casually push the shovel. I was working my ass off doing it, and I was trying to see how efficiently I could do it. So yeah, I'll go into the cold. I mean, you can do it. And so those ice bath things that you're talking about sound great. I might have to really check that out. Let's see. You say they're great. The first 5 seconds are rough in the body, then you're dumb and it's great on the muscles and joints. Awesome, cool. Hey, One Mortal Dark Demon, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. My name is Agni James, and I primarily stream guided meditations here on Twitch, but I do all sorts of variety. I'm a chess instructor in real life, so I stream chess content. I also have a master's in analytic philosophy, so I stream philosophy of mind, philosophy of science, and metaphysics content as well. And then I do Grimm's fairy tales readings. We're reading from one of the greatest books ever written, the Tao Te Ching. This is Lao Tzu's masterpiece, 81 verses, and it contains much wisdom. It's been around over 2,000 years. I mean, Lao Tzu, like I was saying this in my last stream, if a book lasts over 2,000 years, you know there's something good in it, right? No book's going to last 2,000 years and just be garbage, right? And then we've been balancing our chakras with the sevenfold journey, reclaiming mind, body, and spirit through the chakras. So we do all sorts of stuff in here. We also just kind of shoot the shit sometimes. All right, so Taylor, you say you're really going to try to work on your moves in chess because you sometimes mess up a move and you know you're stuck and you can see the checkmate coming. Yeah, I mean that's called a blunder. In chess that's called a blunder. When you just like mess up a move and like your piece gets taken. That's the worst. That's like the worst category of mistake you can make in chess. The worst error you can make in chess. And then the second worst one is called a mistake, right? It's just like middle of the road, error that you can make. And then the least bad one is called an inaccuracy. And that's like a very mildly bad move, right? It's not going to affect a ton, but like it could hurt your position a little bit, right? But yeah, and that's always frustrating. Like if you blunder a piece and you get in a losing position, I mean, especially if you've like been winning the game, right? You're doing really good, you're playing solid, and then all of a sudden, you blunder a piece and everything just goes wrong. That's always one of the most frustrating things in chess. But yeah, Taylor, I do lessons on here. If you ever want, we could schedule you in here and do a lesson sometimes. I do free lessons for my friends. You're one of my friends. I'll do a free lesson for you if you ever want. I literally teach chess for a living, so. All right, Taylor, you say, it's so funny. People say they hate shoveling snow, but you've never done it, so you think you'd have so much fun. You've never shoveled snow? So you must be from a warm climate. Wow, that's right. Yeah, where was it, Cali? Were you from California? I forget. I always forget where people are from. Somewhere warm, I remember. That's cool that you've never shoveled snow. Yeah, here's the thing. There's different types of snow, and people who don't like experience snow a lot, they don't know about the different types. In fact, I think Eskimos have like 21 words for different types of snow, right? Most people just say snow, right? I don't know. But yeah, like, okay, so anyways, so there's like the light snow, right? The light snow, you just take the shovel and you just like kind of like, scoop it up and throw it, and it's like no big problem, right? But then you get like the dense, like wet, like heavy snow, right? And that's a snow that people usually complain about because it's like you're digging in there and it's, at first you're like, digging and shoveling and everything is going great, but like if you got a huge area of land that you got to shovel, like, if you're working in the commercial business and like, you're like doing all the sidewalks and shit, or like, you're like in some big area. I mean, that heavy snow starts adding up. Like you'll start switching sides, because you want to even it out and work out both sides of the body. But I mean, it gets rough after a while. I will say that. I'll admit that. Taylor, you say you in swim trunks and barefoot and stuff. You knew I was. Oh, thank you. That's super nice compliment. Yeah. I mean, so here's the thing. I've been training for a long time with that, right? So I have a notion. I believe the notion that of mind over matter, that we can do things sometimes that people are like very afraid of doing, and that are people that think they can't do. Right? I feel like our minds are really powerful, and through like mental practice and awareness, we can do some pretty amazing things. Right? It's like if you see. I mean, are you a big NBA fan? I like the NBA. Right? My favorite player ever, not ever. Well, maybe ever. Well, not ever. Okay, I'm a big LeBron James fan, all right? I'm a huge LeBron James fan. And he started doing something that no one else had ever done. I don't know if you know this, and this is a lot of people don't know this. But you'll see other people do it now, but no one did this before LeBron. He would do those come from behind rejections, right? So like basically some dude would be on a fast break, right? He'd be on a fast break sprinting down. He's just going to casually like, like lay it in or casually like, slam it, right? And LeBron fucking chases them down. He's like the fastest guy on the court, chases them all the way down and comes from behind and does the rejection. No one did that. No one did those come from behind rejections. Think about how much amazing body and muscle coordination you need to do that, right? Because if you touch the guy at all, it's a fucking foul. So you gotta be fast enough to sprint all the way, to the guy, and he's on a fast break. A lot of times the ball got tipped out back to him, and he's running, and he's way ahead of everyone. And LeBron's just chasing him down, and so he's got to be up in the air. He's got to time his jump, his leap perfectly. He's got to be up in the air, and he's got to not touch the guy. And he's got not just to swat the ball, right? Because you don't want to just swat the ball. You got to try to swat the ball in a way where you're going to be able to corral it, where you're going to be able to get control of it, right? If you can, maybe off the backboard, where to your buddy who's right there, right? No one did that before LeBron. I mean, I consider that almost when I first saw that, it was like an act of magic. It was just holy shit! How does he contort his body in this way to be able to do that, right? Anyways, I do the same thing with cold temperatures, right? I spend a lot of time practicing just being out in the cold. And when you go out in the freezing bitter cold, initially you're shivering and you're oh no, and there's all this resistance, right? But then if you just say, you know what, I choose not to be cold. Literally, that's one day I did that. I said, you know what, I choose not to be cold. And guess what? All of a sudden I wasn't cold. It was fucking crazy, right? And I was sitting there thinking about the implications of this later. I was if I can just choose not to be cold and not be cold, what else can I do? So then next time I had a really bad headache, I was just choosing not to, suffer from the headache. And then I didn't suffer from the headache. I still felt the pain, but I wasn't suffering. Our minds are so powerful. We can do a lot with them. All right. Taylor, you say, let's see, may I ask you for the info on the book and Discord? You would like to get it for free? Absolutely, yeah. I don't know if you're in my Discord. Here's the link. You can definitely. You can send me any questions you have, any info or any questions, or if you want to share anything, check it out. Do it on Discord. We've been doing a lot of food streams, not food streams, but people have been posting a lot of pictures of their dinners and things like that lately. And we go through phases, a lot of heavy metal phases, dinner phases, yoga phases. But you can post whatever you want in there. All right. Oh, Mutombo was you're right. Okay. Yes. I see what you're saying about Mutombo. All right, but here's the thing. Mutombo's was different though. He was not as fast as LeBron. He wasn't sprint. I mean, from my understanding, I never saw Mutombo chase down the fastest guy in the court and do those come from behind the slam, those come from behind rejections, right? I mean, he would do Mutombo was great. It was great at blocking, right? Absolutely. He was definitely the no finger wag. Absolutely, right? He was definitely great at blocking, but he wasn't the fastest guy in the court, I mean, LeBron's probably not anymore, but back in the day, LeBron was the fastest guy in the court, He just has those long strides. It's crazy. It's this guy's built like a truck and he's fast, what an amazing thing. Okay. All right, let's see. Danny John, you got the boom. Yeah, you like throwing the boom commands in. Absolutely. I liked adding the boom command. It's always a fun thing to do. And Taylor, you're a major NBA fan. Awesome. That's right. You're a huge Kobe. Kobe's amazing. Kobe's incredible. Hey, so I believe this is the case, and correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't there a game in which Kobe Bryant scored 81 points in the first 3 quarters? And then I think Phil Jackson was coaching him at the time, and he was like, hey, we're blowing this team out, so let's not even play you in the fourth. And then he sat out the fourth. Wasn't there a game like that, or am I completely off base? Let's see. Oh my God, Imbalanced Physique, you're here, dude. It's been forever, man. Holy shit. Hold on, let me put everything on pause. Everything on pause right now. One of the OGs of the fitness and health community, Imbalanced Physique, who has not surfaced anywhere in a long time. I mean, he's been streaming under his gaming account, but he hasn't streamed under Imbalanced Physique. He hasn't been coming into chats under Imbalanced. He is here big shout out to him. Balanced physique, amazing, awesome, authentic, genuine dude. Right now, I think you're working to get some like a personal training certification of some sort, right? Super awesome guy. He's on there doing workout streams. Amazing human being. Definitely check him out. Drop him a follow. I fucking love the guy, and he's such a caring human being too. Like there was one time like one of his friends. I mean, I don't even know how well he knew this girl, but like she was going through hard times, and she was like almost gonna be homeless, right? And he contacted me. He's like, hey, can you help me out? Like, can you like put a post in your Discord? He was fighting for this girl. He was fighting for her, and he like barely even knew this person. Like he just has a good heart. He has a really good heart. And he does, in addition to, he's not one-dimensional. He's not just a workout streamer. He also does tarot, which is cool, right? It's cool to have like a dude who's like, jacked and like, and lifted and who's also doing tarot. Like, I don't know many people like that, man. You might be the only one. Usually like the tarot people are like also like the psychic reader people, or they're like, maybe they'll do some guided meditations on the side, right? But like the tarot people are not usually, like, built and like, cut, right? All right. We got a good crew here today. Let's see. Taylor, you say Shannon Brown had one of the most famous chase down blocks too. You know what? I'm gonna play that. Let me look it up and I'll play it for us to see, because I want to see this, because I was always under the impression that LeBron was like the one that invented that. I know Jordan didn't do that, because I'm from Chicago. I grew up watching Jordan, and I don't remember Jordan doing those come from behind blocks. Let me check out that Shannon Brown one. Let's see if I can pull it up on YouTube. Shannon Brown come from behind block. Let's see if I can pull this up. Let's see. All right, let's see. Here's a good one. I think is this it? All right. Yeah, this is it. Hold on. I'll get it all set up for everyone to see. Oops. Hold on a second. We need to get volume. I'll need to turn it up. And hold on, I got to turn this shit up for a second. Let's get this so everyone can hear it. Hopefully it's loud enough, and let me play this. Nope, that's me in my underwear, everyone. Okay, that was me in my underwear shoveling snow. But here, let's check out the Shannon Brown's amazing come from behind block, because I want to see this too. Let's check this out. All right.
Fell asleep there. Brown gives it up.
Whoa, hold on a second.
Fell asleep there. Brown gives it up.
Yeah. All right, that's pretty badass. That is pretty badass. I love it. I love it. What year was this? What year was this? This is. We gotta see that again. Is that? No, they'll show it. They'll show it again. That was too awesome. Dude, West totally. West is just like, oh, I'm just going up for an easy slam, right? I'm just gonna, or just, yeah, he's just going up for the easy fucking like lay-in or slam, and oh, that's good. That's good. And it's clean. It's fucking clean. Beautiful. Yeah, I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Taylor J. You've just increased my understanding about that come from behind block. I didn't know about that. That's pretty awesome. Hey, Christine the Bean, thank you so much for the subscription. Dude, 14 months. Holy shit. Christine the Bean is one of my OG chat members. She's been around since almost the beginning. I think I've been streaming 15 months? Who knows? Danny John, how long have I been streaming? JT, how long have I been streaming? Who knows how long I've been streaming? I think it's like around 15 months. That's pretty cool, Christine the Bean. Thank you for that 14 months of subscriptions. I really appreciate that. All right. I'm sorry I'm behind in chat. Let's see. The game he scored 81. They let him play longer to have his moment. Everyone was there. It was amazing. Okay. They did let him play longer. I thought the story was that he played 3 quarters and had 81, and then he sat out the 4th quarter. But I don't know. And then his final game, right? How many did he score his final game? He had like a crazy night there. Let's see. Imbalance will be returning next Wednesday. But streaming card readings, dude, hell yeah, man. Welcome back, dude. I've been missing you, man. We've all been missing you, man. The whole fitness and health community has been missing you. You always are such a good, kind person, man. We're awesome. It's awesome that you're back. Welcome back, friend. I hope everything's going well with you, man. Taylor, you say, yeah, you're right. MJ never did. Yeah, MJ wasn't doing those chase down blocks. And MJ is maybe arguably the best player of all time, right? You could say MJ, right? You could, there's some other guys you could throw into the conversation, right? I'm a fucking, I'm a biased psychopath, so I want to throw LeBron into the conversation. But then everyone will be like, oh no, he doesn't have 6 championships, blah blah blah, and it's like, oh, and I'm like, that's okay. By the way, I have a very big problem with that argument that it's like, it's all about the amount of championships you get, because there are some people, like, you can't say that Scottie Pippen is as good as, like, I don't know, like fucking like Kobe Bryant, because Scottie Pippen has more championships, right? You would never make the argument. Hey, Leon99, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, friend. How's everything going through you? I'm Agni James. Primarily, I do guided meditations here. I also do philosophy, because I have a master's in analytic philosophy, and then I also am a chess instructor, IRL. So I do chess content, and then we do a bunch of variety stuff as well. But yeah, I always think that argument is so stupid. It's like, oh, you're as good as many championships you got. And it's like, no, that's not. You could be a bench player. You could literally not play a single fucking minute. I'm sure there were some guys on the Bulls that were just sitting on the bench, not playing a single minute, that got 3 championship rings, right? That doesn't mean they're like a superstar. It means they got fucking lucky. They were on the right team at the right time, So and Barkley never got a championship, right? And you're not going to say that Barkley's a worthless player. Okay, but anyways, Taylor, you say LeBron is great for sure, and he's iconic chase down blocks, but now you got to give you more faves before LeBron. You got to give you more faves before LeBron. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, and then he's only like 6'1", 6'2", literally jumped over the 10-foot rim and grabbed the ball out of his hand. Yeah, it was savage. I hear you, absolutely. All right, and then let's see. Christine the Bean, you say what time? Oh, you're asking in balance. Yeah, what time will you be streaming? I'll check it out. I want to come in for your debut stream, man. When is your debut stream? When your return, man? When is it going to be? Because I want to know. That would be fun. So just we could get the whole crew together, get the whole crew assembled, and in your chat. So when you come back for a debut, it'll be beautiful. You'll have the whole fitness and health community. Taylor will be in there, Christine will be in there. JT and I and Danny John will all be in there. That would be pretty badass, man. But anyways. Let's see. Taylor, you say, think about Luke Walton. Exactly. Yeah. Luke Walton, who has like 4 or 5 rings, and he literally played 5 minutes game. Yeah. He comes in during garbage time. It's like, oh, hey, guess what? We have like, we're up by like 30 in the 4th with like, 8 minutes left. Hey, Luke Walton, come on in and play. It's like it's kind of like that, right? It's like okay, Luke Walton is better than Charles Barkley, because he has more rings. It's a stupid argument. You need luck. You need some luck. Jordan never won. And remember, and a lot of people don't remember this, but Jordan never won a goddamn thing until he got Pippen, right? You need luck. If the Bulls had never gotten Pippen, they probably still wouldn't have been winning anything. He was still, don't get me wrong, Jordan was putting up 55 points a game or like 50 points a game a lot of times, right? But they weren't winning championships. He needed Pippen. Pippen was like the perfect complement to Jordan. And then you needed like Steve Kerr. You needed a guy who was like shooting threes, You needed a 3-point shooter on the wings and stuff. So. And also that helps with spacing, right? You need that. Basically, you need 3-point shooters, right? Or else your spacing is going to get all fucked up. Let's see. Taylor, you say you're just going to be in a stream talking about free the nips and shake. I love it, Taylor. I love it. Taylor, yeah, Pippen and Rodman. Oh, I got to see that team. That was cool. I got to see Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman play. It was amazing. It was so. I was there for one of those years. One of those years at the end. That was great. It was funny too because Jordan scored I think he scored 48. It was like an awesome performance, but they still lost. It was just like one of those freak instances where the Bulls actually lost a game that year. And I happened to be at it right at the United Center. But it was still awesome to see. I think I still have my ticket stub at my parents' house. I think I should go get it and put it in a frame or something. That was a good experience to be able to. That was the first NBA game I ever saw. Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman. My dad was like, hey, Agni, here's the situation. I want to take you to see Michael Jordan play. I want you to see Michael Jordan play at least one time in your life. So he fucking paid the money, and Bulls tickets were not cheap during the 90s. Like when Jordan was playing with them, I mean, Bulls tickets were like really fucking expensive and really hard to get because everyone in the world wanted to see Jordan. You had people like flying in from Tokyo, and it's like, why are you here in Chicago? It's like, because I want to see Michael Jordan, right? It's like amazing, right? And I'm sorry, that was like the worst like accent ever. It probably sounded racist too, but I didn't mean any offense. Hey, Kitten Kung Fu, man! Kittens is here. Holy shit! Kittens. Big shout out to Kittens Kung Fu. Kittens Kung Fu is one of my favorite people on Twitch and one of my favorite people in Chicago. Kittens Kung Fu is a streamer here. He does qigong. He's a personal trainer. He does fitness streams. Dude, this guy's like he'll like just sit there like casually like deadlift like 1,000 pounds. This guy's just like on there. He's like, hey everyone, here's my cat. I'm like playing with my cat. Now I'm gonna put my cat Mia down and I'm gonna deadlift 1,000 pounds and then I'm gonna go back to playing with my cat and then I'm gonna teach people how to master the art of internal energy via qigong. It's like, dude, where did this guy come from, man? Every time I see your streams, man, and see your content, I'm always like, man, like your parents must have been beasts to like produce you, man. You are a fucking beast, man. Like on every level, you're a very sensitive, emotional dude who's not afraid to show it. A, right, and then B, you're like a fucking beast, man. You're like, oh, here's 1,000 pounds. Like I'm gonna deadlift it. I'm just gonna like fucking deadlift this shit. Like nothing. Should I do like 30 reps or like 100 reps? You're like fucking, you're like out of control. And then you're like, and look at my beautiful cat right here. It's amazing, dude. I love you, man. I fucking love you, dude. Let's see, where are we at here? You say I am one of your favorite, dude. Now that's a compliment, man. Thank you. Wow, super nice, man. And he's also like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He's also the nicest guy. He hasn't let the Chicago toxicity affect his emotional state. He's able to stay positive and centered even when like he's like walking around like the Southwest Side and people are like fucking like looking like they're ready to like shoot him. He's still like able to maintain his calm, right? Let's see. Did I miss anything in chat? Oh, you say, remember when Rodman started taking threes? Yeah, I mean, it was kind of like a joke, right? It was kind of like a joke. I mean, it was kind of like when Shaq, every once in a while, if the game didn't matter, like Shaq would take a three. Actually, there were a couple times where the games did matter, and Shaq would just like, brick a three. But there were a couple times where he actually made them too, and that was always cool, right? Shaq was one of my favorite, and he is one of my favorite NBA players of all time. I love watching Shaq. I mean, when he was in his prime, like when he was with Orlando, like those first few years, like, dude, no one could, and then the Lakers too, no one could stop Shaq. There was zero fucking people in the world could stop Shaq. The only person who like was able to do anything was Yao Ming. That one year that Yao Ming was like actually healthy. He had like 1 year with the Rockets where he was like, hey, Yao Ming is healthy. Holy shit, Yao Ming is actually healthy for once. He's not like, he doesn't have like his 40th ankle sprain. There was 1 year where Yao Ming was healthy, and Yao Ming was like so goddamn tall and long that he was actually able to like alter Shaq's shot a little bit. So instead of just like Shaq just like powering through the guy and like putting it in, he had to like move the ball a little bit and then put it in. And that was it. That was like the most amazing thing for Yao Ming to be able to alter his shot. Noger is here, man. Big shout out to Noger. Thank you so much for the raid. I am still in your stream. Hold on a second. I think I'm still in your stream. I was in your stream earlier. Hold on. This will be interesting. I'm going to pull up your stream. And you just rated me, so you'll be streaming my stream. Let's see how this goes. I've never tried this before. I'm still in your stream, I think. So, yeah, I'm still in your stream. Oh, this is getting weird. This is getting really weird. Hold on a second. Maybe I'm not. Am I not in your stream anymore? I don't know. Like, this is kind of blowing my mind. I'm kind of caught in some loop. I got to get out of there. I had to get out of there for a second. Things got really weird there. I was like ready to like start like typing in chat, but it was like my chat, and then I forgot whose chat it was. Like, That's intense. That's a fucked up rabbit hole to go down. But anyways, let me get back to what's important. Noger is a phenomenal streamer on Twitch. We were actually talking about this today. He does something that is completely original. No one else has ever fucking done this in the history of man. He comes on a Twitch and he's like, I am going to read these really intense academic philosophy papers, and I'm going to read through them, and we're going to do analysis, and we're going to discuss them. Like, no one does it on Twitch. I mean, you go to a philosophy conference to do that. You go to you go to a convention. Like, he's doing it on Twitch, man. He's bringing philosophy to the masses. He's like, you know what? Where is a good place for me to bring philosophy? And we're talking about this with the marketplace too. With in the marketplace, right? Bringing philosophy to the marketplace. You bring philosophy to the people, right? Because that's at the end of the day, philosophy should be helpful, right? It shouldn't just be ivory tower bullshit. You should be able to take things you learn in philosophy and implement them into your life, and utilize those skills in your day-to-day interactions with people, right? Like, loving one another, right? Things like that, not being an asshole, right? Or, all those things, right? There's a lot of good philosophical concepts to implement. But anyways, check out Noger, drop him a follow. Much appreciated. Aristotle's here. Good to see you, friend. How is it going, man? We got a lot of excitement tonight. Everything's like really intense right now, dude. I don't know if it's just me. Like, are you feeling intense? Is everyone out there feeling intense, or is it just me? I did 5 workouts today. I woke up, I worked out, then I went for an intense walk with a friend, right? Then I came back, and then I did core. I was like all about doing core for some reason when I got back from the walk. And then I was like, you know what? I got to do a 3-mile fucking run. So I went out and I just like ran 3 miles as fast as I could. And then I came back and I was like, I gotta go swimming now because I'm fucking hot. And I went and I did a bunch of laps in my pool. I did 5 workouts today. I'm like ready to go. Like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna stop streaming. This is going to be at least a 48-hour stream, let me tell you. No, I'm just kidding. This will be like, I'll probably like be tired in like 5 minutes, to be honest. But I don't know. Who knows what's going to do. But anyways, where are we at in chat? There's too much excitement. I got lost. We were talking about come from behind blocks. We were talking Imbalance has resurfaced. He's been resurrected from the dead. So he's going to be streaming again. So we're all going to hang out in his chat one of these days. Let's see. Where are we at now? Why was Shaq shooting threes? Because it's kind of, you know how Shaq is. He's like a playful dude. Shaq's like a super like playful guy, and it's like, every once in a while Shaq would shoot a 3. He'd just be like, you know what? Fuck it, And usually there was a reason. Usually, like, they were down on the 24-second shot clock. They had like just a couple seconds left, and he just happens to like, get the ball like the 3-point line or something, and like, he just is like, oh, shoots it. But like sometimes there were some games where I remember he was just like, the game didn't matter. Like it was like one of those end of the year games where it's like they're already clinched for their spot in the playoffs. They're already in. The game doesn't even matter. They're playing. Maybe they're up by like 20 points at the half. And he's just like, you know what? I'm going to shoot a 3. And then he just like bricks a 3. And then everyone laughs. That's the funny thing about Shaq. Shaq was so good that he could like fuck around. He could like brick a 3 every now and then. And everyone just laughed and thought it was great. If you're a bench player and you're like, a big dude who's supposed to be like a post-up guy, and you're like coming in and you brick a 3, no one's going to laugh. No one's going to laugh at all. People are going to be like, what the fuck were you doing, man? Like, why'd you do that? But when Shaq bricks a 3, like everyone's like, okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Kittens, you say Shaq and Penny Hardaway. Well, that was a duo. Yes, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I mean, Shaq and Kobe. That Shaq and Kobe, that was unfucking fair. As far as I'm concerned, it was literally unfair to have Shaq and Kobe on the same team. Like how are you gonna? I don't even understand how the Lakers lost any games having Shaq and Kobe on the same team. Like, how do you lose a single fucking game like that? I mean, when Shaq was old and hanging out in Phoenix, like, I get that him and Nash and Amari are gonna lose some games, right? And they had that run and gun offense. That, by the way, that's something that pissed me off. I was a fan of that Phoenix team when they did run and gun. When Shaq was there playing with Nash and Amari, like, I was always a big fan of that team. Who else did they have? They had some other good guys too, but like they never could get over San Antonio. San Antonio was just so dominant with fucking Duncan, Ginobili, that crew. I mean, that was like ridiculous. That was a ridiculous crew. Like, Phoenix, as good as Phoenix ever was, it always like got hurt by San Antonio. They couldn't get past San Antonio. All right, hold on. Where are we at here? But anyways, Noger, check him out. Drop him a follow. Aristotle, yeah, 5 workouts, man. Like, what is going on in this world? What is even going on in this world? Like, it was crazy. Like, I've been pumped up today. I don't know what's going on. I've just, you know what? I hung out with Danny John. Hung out with Danny John last night. I had a very emotional experience. It was very emotional. This is good. This is a good thing for me to express on stream. I was lamenting and like expressing all these all these like insecurities and fears and like all these things that have been basically bottled up inside of me and throughout my life, and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna like express everything and like be very emotionally open, right? And so I did this shit, right? And then like today I'm having the best day of my life. So maybe I need to like be more emotional and express more shit, every day. Hey, Valpo's here. Good to see you, man. How's it going? How's everything going with you? Well, Popovich is a good coach, yeah, and the Spurs are fun. Like Popovich is the man. At the end of the day, he's going to go down as one of the best coaches of all time, right? Who do you got? You got Phil Jackson, you got Popovich, and then you got like the older great coaches, right? Popovich is good. There's no fucking around with Popovich, and he'll tell you what's up too. Popovich, like, what I always love about Popovich, the way he responds when they interview him. They'll interview him at halftime, and I think they're able to give him like one question or two. I think 2 questions or something, or maybe 1 question. Then like if they give him like if they ask him anything else, he'll just be like, you've exceeded your amount of questions. You can't ask anything else, and then he'll just like walk away. Popovich is a damn good coach. He's by the way, I'm a chess player. Popovich is a strategic genius, all right? The shit that he came up with, the way that he was able to utilize Duncan Parker and Ginobili, right? And remember, Ginobili was coming off the bench. He was the 6th man for a long time, right? Think about that. Think about if you got Ginobili just sitting there on the bench. It's like, okay, it's like, hey, we're Duncan and Parker are beating the fuck out of the other team, right? They're doing great, right? They're playing amazing, right? And then like it's like, okay, let's give them a rest, or let's give Parker a rest, right? And then it's like, let's bring in Ginobili. It's like then the other team's like bench comes in, and then it's like, we can't stop Ginobili. He's got that fucking Euro step. No one could fucking handle that Euro step, Like, what's people still do that Euro step, but not, I don't know. I don't know if it's done as much anymore, but like no one could handle Ginobili's Euro step. And then he always had those like, he was amazing at off-balance threes. Like that dude was, it seemed like, it's like he was controlled chaos, because he was all over the court, right? And he was always like, like on one leg shooting threes and like swishing them. Like, I don't know how the fuck he was doing that, but it was pretty amazing. Let's see. Valpo, you say you wish Brad Stevens had coached longer. He would have been really interesting in the NBA long term. So I'm completely ignorant about who Brad Stevens is. I don't even know that guy, to be honest. I have gaps in my NBA knowledge. Like there are certain there'll be like a 3-year period where I like watch nothing, right? And then there'll be like a 3-year period where I watch like every single Cavaliers game because I'm a big LeBron fan, right? Or like I'm watching every single Miami Heat game because like I'm watching Wade Wade and LeBron play, right? Or I used to watch Shaq. I was watching all the Shaq stuff back in the day. But then there was like periods of time where I didn't. I just kind of had to take a break. I'm a Cubs fan for one, and I also was like into like the Atlanta Falcons for some reason for a long time. Actually, I think it was because Deion Sanders is a fucking badass, and he was on the Falcons, back in the day. All right, let's see. How would you rank these coaches? Phil Jackson, Popovich, Coach K, John Wooden. I mean, I'm only going to talk about Jackson and Popovich. Those are the 2 that I like really know. Those are the guys that I've seen work magic on the field, and like I don't know. I think Popovich is more strategic. I think he's more of like a chess player mentality, right? And Phil Jackson is more of like a Zen energy guy, He's more of like feeling things out and like going with his intuition. And Popovich is more of like, hey, okay, if this happens, then we'll play so and so on the wing. If this happens, then we're gonna have Parker. We're gonna have a Duncan post up, right? If this happens, then we're gonna do this other thing, right? Like he was a strategic genius. So like I think that they're kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're both 2 of the best coaches ever. Let's see. Valpo, you say you only know because you caught him coaching at the college level before he took over the Celtics. Yeah, interesting. All right, cool. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. You know, I mean, a lot of the coaches come up from college, right? A lot of the coaches come up from college. They're former players, right? But yeah, there's a lot of college coaches that come up. But that's cool. That's cool that you got to see him and you got to see the coach develop. Like usually, you know, we're used to just seeing like the players develop, right? We see the players develop over time. We're not used to seeing the coaches develop over time. That's kind of an interesting thing, right? Like the coach evolution. I mean, have people written books about like, you know, the evolution of coaches? That would be kind of a cool concept. Everyone always is concerned about the guy that's slamming the ball. You know, no one's concerned about the coach that's like, you know, making the play such that he can actually be open, you know, under the hoop. All right, Taylor, you say facts. Popovich, I think, was one of the biggest coaches who started the Hack-a-Shack. Yeah. And I hate absolutely, and I hated that. You know, that was it. Strategically, yes, it's a good move, right? Because Shaq's statistically going to make one of those free throws, right? He's going to make one free throw, and the other one's going to get bricked, right? And sometimes he's not going to make any. He always would say, you know, his big line was always, "Oh, I make them when they count." But no, that wasn't the case, you know. I think he did have one good year though, where he was like working with some free throw coach, and like he made like a much higher percentage of free throws than he had ever made. But then after that, it just like went back to trash. But yeah, Hack-a-Shack was so boring. It was so boring. It was like the, you know, I mean, and all the fans. I mean, imagine that you go to a game, you're just sitting there, and it's just like foul on Shaq. You know, and next time he gets the ball, foul on Shaq. You know, it's like foul. You know, and then it's like, well, he's making like one free throw, and the other team is like, you know, is on fire. You know, so like we gotta like take Shaq out now or something. That was a crazy move. That was a crazy move. All right. Valpo, you say Stevens helped popularize advanced statistics in basketball. He brought his statistician with him when he went pro. That's awesome. That's like the Billy Bean thing, right? That's like they did that in baseball, right? Where they're like, where they were like doing all the number crunching, and they're like, hey, you know what? We need to like look at other factors here. It turns out like, you know, on base percentage is so goddamn fucking important, like way more important than we ever thought. Like we don't want a guy that's gonna hit like I don't know, like, you know, a decent amount of home runs, but like, you know, bat like, or whatever, like strike out like all the time, right? We want a guy that's going to put the ball in play, right? Yeah, interesting. Let's see. You said Taylor. You say Popovich started the foul of the player knowing who can't shoot. Yeah, who can't shoot free throws. Exactly. And they called it Hack-a-Shack because Shaq was like the stereotypical guy. But usually it's centers, right? I mean, centers are typically the guys that are not making free throws, right? I don't know. Like there's very few point guards that are like, oh, I'm terrible at free throws. I mean, there's some guys that would shoot in like the high 70s. I guess there's some point guard. There's some exceptions to that, but usually like you know like the regular crew like forwards and all that. They're at least making some free throws, right? Taylor, you say it's so smart, but you hate it. It's totally slowed down the game. Being at a game and just like having timeout after timeout after timeout while and then it's not like the guys just rush over and they shoot immediately. They're like fucking like, you know, taking their time. You know, like the refs are like looking around. You know, they're like they got to get the ball. The ball like fucking hits the rim and like, you know, bounces off somewhere, and some dude's like running over to get the ball. Like it's like everyone's kind of taking their time, and then, you know, they get the guy the ball, and then like, you know, people got to line up, right? There's this whole fucking process, right? And then like the fans are like going to sleep. Basketball's supposed to be a high-paced game. It's not supposed to be fucking, you know, where you just hack the guy constantly. See, you know exactly what you mean. It was boring. Yeah, it was totally boring, right? I mean, it made the experience far less enjoyable for fans, right? From a strategic standpoint, I get it. You know, it's a good play, it's a good maneuver, but at the same time, I mean, you know, you just brought your kid to a game, and like he's seen like more fouls in like, you know, half an hour than he's, you know, ever experienced than, you know, you've ever seen in your life, basically, you know, during your games or whatever. Let's see. Okay, all right. I think it's time to do a quick puzzle rush. So let's do some puzzle rush. Those of you who don't know, I am a chess instructor IRL, and I gotta load this up. Give me 1 second. Oh yeah, and so yeah, I like to do chess streams. Puzzle Rush is a game on chess.com where you got to solve as many chess puzzles in a 3-minute period as possible. Holy shit! Before I do this, I forgot about something crazy. Aristotle. Big shout out to Aristotle. I didn't give him the shout out. Aristotle, I'll just type it in. I know the automatic shout out came through, but let me just give Eris. Eris. Am I spelling this shit right? No. Well, hold on, whatever. Okay. I think, yeah. Right, basically, big shout out to Aristotle. I didn't even spell it. I'm not spelling anything right here. But, okay, anyways, yeah, he's a philosophy streamer on Twitch, but he doesn't just talk philosophy. He talks all sorts of stuff. He's just an awesome dude, full of love and light. He's also into metal. Him and I can talk about metal. It's cool. It's cool to have like another philosophy streamer that's into metal. A lot of philosophy streamers, philosophers tend to be very dry in their musical taste. They're like sitting around listening to classical music all day and like, Eris isn't like that. Eris is like a real dude who's like expressing himself as such. You say, it's all good, man. You're here to learn how to nab a chess baddie in Queen's Gambit. You started watching it today. Nice! You're watching Queen's Gambit. All right. Cool, yeah. By the way, like a lot of people don't know this, but it's not a true story. It's not a true story. Like for some reason everyone thinks it's a fucking true story. But no, that person did not exist. I mean, it's loosely based off some other lady, but then she sued them for defamation, and it wasn't even the case. It's not even a true story. All right, let's see. Taylor, you say, well, you can talk to me about sports and metal. Yeah, metal. Check out my Discord. I have some of my favorite songs in there. You can put any metal that you like posted in there in the metal section. I'm big into metal. I love metal. It pumps me up. I always feel like invigorated and ready. It makes my workouts better, right? When I'm doing pull-ups, or chin-ups, like when I'm doing pull-ups or chin-ups, I can always get like another one or two in if I'm listening to metal. It's just the case. And like I don't know why it does that, but it definitely does that. But yeah, anyways, check out Aristotle, drop him a follow, super awesome dude. So Queen's Gambit invented chess. No, what do you mean Queen? No, Queen's Gambit did not invent chess. Queen's Gambit is just a show they made about chess. It's just a show they made about chess. It got people super pumped up and hyped about chess. Queen's, by the way, incidentally, when I play as white, Queen's Gambit is the opening that I play. And you can do Queen's Gambit accepted or Queen's Gambit declined. That's basically when you take the C pawn. If my opponent, so basically I play D4, it's D4, and then my opponent plays D5, and then I play C4. So I'm striking at the center indirectly, right? It looks like I'm gambling a pawn, right? Because I technically am, right? So a lot of times your opponent will just take it right away. That's Queen's Gambit accepted. If they don't take it, like if they just reinforce D5, then it's called Queen's Gambit declined, and you'll have that tension existing between the C and D pawns for a while. If you take the pawn with Queen's Gambit, you gotta let it go. You can't try to hold on to it. Anyone who takes that pawn with Queen's Gambit, who tries to hold on to that material, is gonna get steamrolled because I'm gonna get such a strategic advantage. And this is theory. You can't, if you take the pawn, just remember that. If you take the pawn, you gotta let it go. If you don't take it, then you do other stuff, right? But yeah, I've won a lot of games by people who are really greedy with pieces, and they want to like hold on to that one pawn. And they'll do whatever they can to try, and then I'll just carve them up, right? Okay, Aristotle, or let's see, Valpo, you say chess baddies like the Botez sisters. yeah, the Botez sisters. They COVID and Queen's Gambit like helped popularize them so much. They came into the world during right when Twitch blew up and when chess blew up during right when COVID hit, right? Because everyone's like, oh, COVID said we have nothing to do. Let's pick up chess again. Let's play some chess, right? And so people started delving into chess. And then Queen's Gambit hit, and it fucking made chess so goddamn popular. In fact, there was a period of time where you couldn't even buy a chessboard. There was like a few month window where like every chessboard was like sold out everywhere. You couldn't even find a chessboard. It's like, where are the chessboards? Well, everyone bought them all. We need to like make more, right? So like, yeah, it definitely popularized it. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, and the Botez sisters, Alexandria, and I always forget the other one's name. I don't because I don't watch them. They're like two of the most popular chess streamers. But I watch GM Hikaru, who I believe is probably a little more popular. But GM Hikaru is the man in my mind. I think Alexandria is what, like a 2300, 2200, 2300. Hikaru's like one of the top few players in the world. He's definitely one of the top 10 in the world, arguably one of the top 5. I mean, he almost got second place in the candidates, and because Magnus Carlsen declined to defend his world championship the year. By the way, everyone should know about this. The top chess player, the world champion, is a guy named Magnus Carlsen. He's a Norwegian. He's held the championship since 2013 when he beat Vishy Anand, and then he's been the highest ranked player since 2011. This guy is going to, at the end of the day, it's going to be him and Kasparov and maybe Fischer in the discussion for the top player of all time. But he might be the top player of all time, right? So anyways, he's been the champion all these years. And he decided to not defend his title this year. He's pulling a Jordan. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to defend my title this year. I'm going to, I'll still play chess, but I'm going to do some other stuff, right? So and he's playing poker now. It's kind of crazy. It's like a lot of chess guys become poker guys and vice versa. It's kind of interesting. I guess the games are very similar in some ways. But anyways, yeah. we keep straying like way off topic. I don't know. But let's I think I need some more water. Maybe we're at that. Well, let's do some Puzzle Rush. All right, let's do some Puzzle Rush. I was gonna do Puzzle Rush, and then I got distracted. So we're gonna do some Puzzle Rush, and here we go. So yeah, how many puzzles can I solve in 3 minutes? Notice, by the way, this is big news. I got some breaking news. Breaking news right here. Look at this number right here. Look at this number. We have a 29 right here. I got my new high score recently. All right, so I was able to solve 29 chess puzzles in a 3-minute period. All right, so we're gonna see now. That's unreasonable to like expect me to get that now, but I like getting at least on in the 20s when I stream, and it also helps if I actually plug in my headphones so I can hear the piece movements and I can hear the sound that is given off when a piece is checking the king. That actually helps a little bit. It definitely helps a little bit because then you know you're in check immediately and you know you got to deal with the check. Okay, so let's see how many I can solve here. This is going to be interesting. I like getting in the 20s, so let's see if I can get at least 20. White to move. Oh, win the queen. That was really easy. Win the rook and win this rook. We're going to have a checkmate. All right. This check, mate. All right, fork the queen. I'll take a queen. Free queen any day of the week. I want the queens. Give me the queens. All right. What do we got here? Oh, checkmate. Take that. We got this idea, I believe, right? And then this idea. Mate. All right. Oh, this is going to be fun. So we do check, and then we do this. Beautiful. All right, what do we got going on today? What is this world all about? Oh, this is going to be... checked. No, this doesn't quite. Yeah, I think it does work. I think you just power through. Yeah, you power, or you can even do it like this. No, you got to do it like this. I'm like, yeah, you can even do. No, you can't do it that way. All right, let's see. We got this idea, and then we're gonna have. Oh, just win the. Yeah, okay, and then mate. All right, here we go. We'll power through, mate. Sometimes in life you just gotta power through, right? All right, let's see what's going on in this world, in this realm. Oh, we have this idea. Oh, no, that wasn't it. And by the way, the puzzles get progressively harder. Oh, this one's tough. So sack, mate. You know, sometimes you got to sack a bunch of pieces if you want checkmate. White to move. This is just a checkmate. All right. I believe this is the case, right? And then that, and then... this. Yep, that works. All right. Just is it simple as this? Is this no? Something's wrong here. Is it take with the knight? I think. Yeah, got to take with the knight. Sometimes you never know. You never know which piece to take with. Oh, this, and then what was the? Oh, that's the idea. Win the queen, mate. Okay, oops. We got to do this. Let's adjust that plan. All right. Nope, not so quick. Not so quick, Agni James. Okay, this is the idea. Fork, right? Fork's a situation where you move one piece and attack two or more pieces, or move one piece and create two or more threats. And I shouldn't be talking because now I just got distracted. Okay, we got a mate in one. All right. 21 though. I got 21. I'll take it. 21 is a legit score. Anything in the 20s. If I had gotten 20, I would have been happy. It's my warm-up. I'll take a 21. Why not, right? Why not take a 21? Okay, all right. Anyways, that's chess. That's how you play chess. That's what chess is. Now that's just Puzzle Rush, right? I'll do some chess too in a little bit. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's just life. It's kind of weird that I was in yeah, it's weird. I'm gonna type. So hold on. What happens if I type in this chat? Hello. I can't type in this chat. I wanted to go type in the chat that because I was following. I was watching Nogra. I was in his stream when. What's going on here? Hold on. What is even going on here? Oh, that's what's going on. Terror Time is here. Big shout out to my good friend Terror Time. Terry, I got a big hug coming for you. Big hug coming for you, right? I'm coming in. Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm here. And I got blue eyes. You like the blue eyes? All right. I hope you felt that. Terror Time is here. She is a personal trainer and a phenomenal streamer here on Twitch. She makes working out fun. If you want to work out and you want to smile, you want to laugh, you want to feel good, you want to feel joy in your life, go to her stream and check it out. She's a top-notch human being. She's from Argentina. She's exotic. She's exotic to me because she's from Argentina, right? I'm just a boring American, you know. She's got some intense Argentinian depth, and she's a phenomenal dancer. That's the other thing about her. She's such a good dancer. How you doing, Terry? Good to see you. Terry knows that when I'm in her stream, because I always redeem the cat sound as soon as I come in. I always redeem the sound that has the cat screeching, and so she always knows. It's like her signal that I'm there. So it's something to keep in mind. And I like to try to blow up her stream with the cat sound and the different sounds and emotes. She is the emote queen, by the way, too. So like when she comes in, she has no one can match her emote game. She's got like the best emote game in town. She comes in and she's just boom commanding everything. Everything's awesome. Good to see you, Terry. I hope all is well with you. Terry, you say, "Oh my God, Agni, that hug." Yeah. I'm grateful to be able to hug you. I hope you felt it. I hope it was able to move through the stream and you were able to actually experience that, you know. So how are you doing? Like, what's going on? Are you chilling at your home? Are you at the farm? What are you doing? You say my blue eyes. Yeah, I have the blue eyes. I do have blue eyes. I'm one of those people with dark hair and blue eyes. Like it's kind of like a weird thing, right? Like those traits are not typically linked, right? The dark, I mean, you see it, right? You see it, but it's not as common as like dark hair and dark eyes, right? Or like blonde hair and blue eyes, right? Like those seem to be more common. Excuse me. Oh, you're home. Okay, you're at home. You're chilling. Cool. Are you in bed? Are you in bed right now? Because it's got to be late for you, Terry. Are you in bed? Are you eating chocolate? Are you eating chocolate? Are you watching me and eating chocolate in bed? I love my blue eyes. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I will try not to ever get my eyes gouged out. That would be terrible because then that would make you unhappy. So I'll try to keep my eyes as long as I can. Yes, you are in bed. Okay, awesome. Terry watches me in bed. Now that means a lot to me, by the way. I like when people watch me in bed. Like for some reason that just gives me extra satisfaction. Because I think it's because like they're ready for some guided meditation. They're ready for first I come out with a lot of energy and intensity, and then we break off into the guided meditation, and then we read from one of the greatest books ever written, the Tao Te Ching, and then we do chakra balancing with a sevenfold journey, and we play chess. Along the way. It's always a journey when we're here, and we have a new component. To the stream. Some of you have seen this, some of you have not. I have been reading from Grimm's Fairy Tales. I've been reading one story from Grimm's Fairy Tales every stream now. And these are badass stories. They're pretty dark and twisted, and like the brothers Grimm were crazy. They were like fucking out of their mind to come up with this shit, you know. So I love reading this stuff. And and my mom gave me this book too when I was like 8. So it's like it kind of makes it more fun too. Hey, Nope Just Evil is here. How's it going? Good to see you, friend. What's new with you? I got to see Nope Just Evil streaming under Taylor Jade's account when she was on. She had just gotten on a flight, right? I think that was the deal. She had just gotten on a flight, so I got to actually to see you stream. That was cool. How you doing? How's everything going with you? Oh, you say, fairy tales. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, fairy tales are pretty awesome, especially the dark ones, right? We just read one about a witch who. So there was this witch living in this castle, right? And she had like these weird spells. Like, so basically every day she turned into either an owl or a cat. Like, that's pretty cool, right? So like I started out liking this witch because she's just like turning into an owl or a cat during the day, and then at night she's a human. But she had like a really long nose that came all the way down to her chin and touched like the bottom of her chin. Now that I didn't like. I don't like the idea of someone having a nose that actually comes down and touches the bottom of their chin, like their neck area. Like that, that's just not cool in my book. I don't like that. But anyways, she's a witch, so I guess she can get away with it, right? I started out thinking she was pretty cool, right? But then whenever a fair maiden would enter, let's start with the dudes. Whenever a dude would get too close to the castle, she'd like do some spell, and they would turn into a statue, and they would just be like standing there until she like gave them permission to leave. She'd come back like, the next day and be like, all right, you can no longer be a statue, get out of here, right? And then they'd like run away. They'd be like, okay, well, thanks for like ruining my day, but like thanks for not killing me, right? But then here's the twisted part. Here's the real twisted part. Whenever a maiden, whenever a woman came in, got too close to the castle, she would turn them into a fucking bird. She would literally turn them into a bird, put them in a cage, and then just lock them up in her house. Like, how fucked up is that? And we found out at the end of the story that she had 7,000 birds that she was feeding every night. She had 7,000 maidens that were in cages that she was feeding. Now, I was saying that from a time management situation, this is a terrible move. This is like the worst strategic move. This witch was obviously not a chess player, right? Because think about it. Imagine cleaning up after 7,000 birds. That's fucking madness. Imagine your whole day is going to be spent cleaning up, bird shit like everywhere. It's just like, oh, what are you doing today? Well, I have to turn into an owl and a cat, but I also have to clean up like bird shit like all day as an owl and cat. And I have to then at night I'm a human, so I can then I can clean up, bird shit too. And she had to feed them 7,000 birds a day. That's like terrible. Who would want to have all their time invested in that? I mean, and she's got other things going on too because she's a witch, right? She's got plenty of things going on, man. She's got like all these spells she's got to cast. She's got like all these witches brews she's got to make. She's got to like turn she's got tons of shit going on in the world. She's got a whole castle to take care of, and now she's just fucking sitting there taking care of 7,000 birds a day. Like that, terrible move, a really terrible move. But anyways. So there's this like couple that's like really like excited. It's a fiance and they're like getting married, right? They're about ready to get married, and they're out in the forest, and it gets dark, and they accidentally wander too close to the castle. He gets turned into a statue. She gets turned into a dove, and then she gets like locked away in the fucking cage. And then the witch comes back the next day and is like, all right, dude, you can go, man, you can go. I took your fiance and I fucking turned her into a bird, but no, don't worry, I'm not gonna kill you or fuck with you anymore. Like, have a nice day. And he's like, no, wait a minute, like this isn't cool. Like, I implore you, could you please like give me my fiance back? Like, this is really like hurting my feelings. We're like ready to get married. We're deeply in love. And she's like, nope, sorry. She's just gonna be a bird the rest of her life in one of my cages. And so then this dude is like distraught, man. He just wanders off, and he just doesn't know what to do. He just lost his fiance. He wanders into some village, and he's like in this village for like the next 20 years, getting all old and decrepit and like lamenting over his lost fiance. It's a total fucking nightmare, right? Like everyone loses out in this situation. I mean, maybe the witch gains. One could argue that the witch actually benefits from the situation because she turned her into a bird, now has another pet bird. But dude, once you have 6,999 birds, do you really need a 7,000th bird, right? It just seems unreasonable. Think about that. She has to clean up after another bird every day. She has to feed another bird every day. I mean, imagine her food costs. Like, her food bill every month is going to be crazy. Like I don't even know like how to feed 7,000 birds. She better be making like serious bank, But anyways, so the dude's like rotting away in the village. He's like, what the fuck? This sucks. My fiance is a bird in a cage, and like people are like, yeah, that you got too close to the witch, you dumbass. Why'd you do that? He's like, it was an accident. And they're like, yeah, whatever. We all know to stay away from the witch. And so like, they're giving him some shit. They're like, making things a little ridiculous for him. And then one day he has his dream. He's just like, he basically dreams that like if he finds a certain flower that he can take it and like, undo all the witch's spells. So he goes off for 9 days on this journey. He's looking for some flower, right? It's like, this is kind of stupid. I think it's like, dude, like first of all, our dreams really that significant? Like usually like we have dreams. Like I had a dream last night that like, my head turned into a parrot, and then like I was like, burning in hell, and then I was God. God. And then like, like my fingers turned into like 5 cats. And then like I woke up, right? And it's like, okay, that's my dream. Like, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Like, or maybe it does, but I don't know what the fuck that is, right? This guy just has a dream about a flower. And he's like, well, that must be the case. It must be the case that if I find this flower, like I'm going to be able to like, completely, revert all the witch's spells. So he goes off 9 days it takes. And this guy's I will say he's a tenacious motherfucker, right? 9 days this guy goes off looking for this flower. He finds the flower, and sure enough, he finds the flower, and then he goes off to visit the witch. And the witch cannot turn him into a statue, right? And she's like, what the fuck? Like, how are my spells not working on you? And so he comes up to the witch and he's like, you fucking bitch. He's like, you fucking bitch, right? You fucking turned my goddamn fiance into a bird, and I've been alone for the last 30 years. Now I got this flower right here, and now you're in serious shit. And she's like, I don't care about your flower, like whatever, like so what? Maybe I'm a little rusty on my my statue spell, right? So she starts spitting poison into his face. She's like, she was like coughing up this nasty shit. It was like more nasty than like a COVID cough, right? She's like coughing up this shit in his face, and he's like, fine. He's just taking it. He's like, I don't care. Spit in my face all you want. Like I'm getting my fiance back. And then she starts freaking out because she's like, all right, this guy's like powerful or something, right? So she goes off. So then she's like trying to like hide and shit. He's like looking through the 7,000 bird cages, and he's like, what the fuck? How am I going to tell which bird cage is mine? This is crazy, right? How am I going to tell? Like, he doesn't know which one is his fiance. Like, you have 7,000 birds, like, and I don't even think the birds resemble the people at all. Like, there were no like essential properties of the person that the bird must have. So these are all just like random birds. Like, imagine that, like just trying to look through 7,000 birds and figure out which one was your fiance that turned into a bird, right? But the witch makes a crucial mistake here. Like she's totally a major strategic blunder. She could have just sat there and just been chilled and like been like, all right, find your fucking fiance. Like, good luck, yeah, have fun with that, right? But instead, she grabs the bird that is his fiance and heads for the door, and she just makes a run for it, right? And the dude's like, I know now that you are holding my fiance. You fucked up. You should have played your hand differently. You shouldn't have fucking, exposed everything. So he just comes on over and like touches her, and she turns into a fucking chick, like his old fiance, right? Except I think she's old now, and they're both old and decrepit, right? And then I think the witch died or something. I don't even remember that part. But the main thing is he got the fiance back. And then they supposedly lived happily ever after, but I don't think it's really the case, because this was like 30 years later. Like imagine this. Like you were ready to get married. You're like, let's say you're like 20, back in the day they got married earlier. So let's say they're like 16, 17 years old, right? They're like getting married. They're like super excited. They're deeply in love. Maybe it's like their high school sweetheart, whatever, right? They're ready to get married, right? And then like next thing they know, like the chick's a bird and the dude's like depressed and miserable for like 40 years, and then like the chick comes back into a human. And then like they get married again, but it's like now they're like 56. It's like, okay, like let's have a great life, but it's like, can we even have kids now? Can we even do the things we wanted to do? Like, I mean, it's nice to have you back, but like think of all that time lost, that fucking witch really screwed us over. And then I mean, at least they have a good story. They have a good story to tell people, right? But yeah, so that's like the story. Grimm's fairy tales. We're gonna be reading more Grimm's fairy tales later on. Okay, did I miss anything in chat? I think I missed a ton of shit. I was getting tense. I nope to see if we say yeah, she was on vacation. Okay, yeah. Taylor was on vacation. Brothers Grimm Ultra Classics. They're so much fun. They are so much fun, right? And Taylor, you say. Okay. Oh, you're talking to nope. All right, you're going to do a cannonball in the pool. I went swimming today. I was telling everyone I did 5 workouts today. I think I overdid it, but swimming was one of them. I swam a bunch of laps in my pool. All right. Where are we at? Terror Time. You say, listen, you're not a cow. Yeah, that's if you go to Terror Time stream and you do exclamation mark, you do command cow. She'll always say what? What? Like she's insulted. It's such a beautiful act. It's like it's perfect. She's like, what? And she like looks like really genuine. She's like, I am not a cow. I am not a cow. Like it's so amazing. I love how you do that, Terror Time. I love it. It always makes me smile. And then if you redeem the cat, she's like looking around like this, like really intensely. She's like, where's the cat? Where's the cat? Where is it? Where's the cat? It's so good. Your content is fire, Terror Time. I love it. And that's the cool thing about being a streamer. You can do it however you want to. You can do it like how you want to, right? Where are we at here? Let's see. Taylor, you say, you guys can take my fiance. No, but remember the witch was only turning the women into birds, right? The dudes just got frozen. So like, nope, just evil. Like maybe you'll get frozen for a day. Like you'll just like stand there like for a day. I don't know how it works with like other things. Like with like digestive issues. Like I think if you're frozen, you're like legitimately frozen. You're just like not having any bodily processes occur. They did not explicate whether or not there was consciousness in the individual though when they were like turned into statues. Like I don't know if he was still like thinking like, holy shit, I can't move, I'm a fucking statue, like what's going on here, that witch god is good, or if he was just like in an anesthetized state, right? If he was just like unconscious, right? So I don't know about that, but the women were the ones that were turned into birds. But Taylor, you're saying you can turn my fiance into a bird. Yeah, I mean there's all sorts of stuff going on. All right. Nope to see. Enjoy all the bird seed. Oh, dude, that is funny. That is fucking funny. That's a good burn. That is a good burn. Holy shit. Aristotle, man, you're going to call tonight. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by, dude. It's always a pleasure having Aris to my stream. And everyone, definitely drop him out. Drop him a follow. Drop him out. Check him out is like the way to say it. Drop him a follow. And you will learn philosophy. You will learn love. He's also in the metal. He's also just a stand-up good dude. One of my favorite people on Twitch. So check him out. Okay. Thanks for coming by the way, too. Let's see. Where are we at? 9,000 birds. Ain't no way. You'd be overwhelmed with. No, it was only 7,000. Taylor, it was only 7,000 birds, not 9,000. But yeah, I would be overwhelmed with like if I had like 1, 2, I'd be overwhelmed too. That's crazy, right? It's crazy to have like 7,000 birds, and think about how loud that is. Like, can you imagine like the noises? It's like you're just trying to get some sleep. I mean, there's no way that all those birds are gonna be like perfectly quiet at the same time. They're gonna be like rustling around in their cages. They're probably pissed because they know they were people that were turned into birds, so they're like, what the fuck, this goddamn witch is like, I'm still in her cage, like, what a fucking, crazy woman to turn me into a bird. Like, I was living my life, I was living my dream, I was fulfilling my dream, my destiny, and now I'm a bird. Like, this really sucks, right? And so she's got to take care of all these birds, I'd totally be overwhelmed. All right. Nope, see if we say, hi, Tay just made it down to the pool and she forgot her bottoms. I love it. It's good. Nope, to see if we say she's in her 60s and only eating bird crumbs. Yeah, I mean it's true though, right? Like she turned her into a bird, and she's like literally like in her 60s now, and it's like how are you fulfilling your destiny? Do you feel fulfilled? Do you are you enjoying your existence? And it's like, I mean, I've been a fucking bird the last 40 years. Like, no, I'm not enjoying my existence. My existence sucks. I'm sitting in a cage. I used to be a human, so I know what that's like. I still have my first-person consciousness and self-reflective consciousness. I can analyze situations. I still have all my critical thinking, but I'm a fucking bird. Like, I can't communicate with people. Like, this really sucks, right? Especially for her, because she was about ready to get married. All right. Every time you say, you're not a cow, maybe you eat like a cow. Thanks, my dear, lovely, handsome friend. Oh, thank you so much. I love you too. Okay, we got Mortal Dark Demon. Hi. Well, hello. Yeah, thanks for popping in chat. Yeah, and thanks for the follow earlier, man. Much appreciated. Welcome to the chat. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm Agni James, and we have a pretty crazy, wild chat. We have a lot of fun in here. It's very, very playful, but we also get, we also do a lot of work. Like we do meditation, and we do readings. We do chakra balancing and readings from the Tao Te Ching, one of the greatest books ever written, right? And we do chess and stuff too. We were talking about the NBA today. We were talking about basketball also. We kind of have like a lot of variety of stuff that we do in here. But yeah, welcome in. If you ever have any questions, feel free to ask. I need to refill my water. And I just need to refill my water and to take a 2-minute break. I need to do a little stretching. I worked out. I did 5 different workouts today, which is like crazy. Like I don't know what I was doing, but like I worked out in the morning. Then I went for an intense walk with a friend. Then I came back and I was like really motivated to do core work. So I just like did all this my whole core routine, right? And then I was like, you know what? I need to go run 3 miles. So I went to a forest preserve near my place, and I ran 3 miles. And I came back and I was like, I need to do some laps because I'm hot. And I went out in the pool and just did a bunch of laps. So like, my hamstrings might start cramping up at some point. I might start screaming like on the floor like a 5-year-old girl at some point, but I don't know. Maybe I think I got enough potassium in myself to combat that, but we'll see. But anyways, yeah, I'm hyper because I worked out a lot today. Anyways, okay, yeah, I'm going to take a break. I need to stretch out for a couple minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and yeah, I'll see you all in 2 minutes. All right, we're back. We're back. All right. Oh, I forgot my water. Give me 1 second. All right, that was almost disastrous. You need to stay hydrated. If you don't, by the way, I love this shirt. I like wearing this shirt every now and then. It's a good shirt. But anyways, yeah, you need to stay hydrated. I hope everyone's being hydrated. Are you drinking enough water? Terror time, I'm back. How I would never leave you. I could never leave you, Terry. You are my heart and soul. You are my heart and soul. Not to mention you got the best emote game in town, and you're the best dancer I know. And I know a lot of dancers. And you're the best dancer I know. Terror time. You should do a dance. You should just do a lot of dancing streams. Like, I don't know why you don't do. You do dancing sometimes, but like I haven't seen many streams where it's just like only dancing. You should do those sometime. I think like people would gravitate toward those. Okay, so let's see, where are we at here? Let's do one game on Lee Chess. I'll play a game, and then we will do a guided meditation. I think it's about time to do guided meditation, right? Yeah, I always come out intense, and then we slow things down, and we go inward to the place of peace and love within us, and we meditate together. But for now, I like to keep things lively and entertaining, right? And playing chess and all that stuff. Let's see, a Mortal Dark Demon. You see, you love basketball. Awesome. Yeah, we were talking about the come from behind blocks. Like the ones that like LeBron does all the time. He's always like coming from behind, chasing the guy down, and doing those come from behind blocks. And it wasn't just LeBron. I found out today that I thought LeBron invented that move, but it turns out there have been plenty of other dudes that have been doing it. I thought LeBron was the inventor, but he's so quick, chasing people down the court, doing that, and he did it so often, so like he was always like the man with that. Let's see. Terror time. You say only dancing maybe once, only one time. Okay. Well, I would like to do that. By the way, if you ever are gonna do a stream like that, send me a message, DM me, and then I'll like make a point of showing up if I can for that stream, because I'd love to see it. I'd love to hang out there where you do like an only dancing stream. Okay, so let's play some chess. I'm a chess instructor IRL. This is how I make a living, playing chess, and Let's see. We'll play a game on Elite Chess. Let me get it all set up here. Create game. So this person, the person that I'm going to be playing, I'm playing anonymously. So this person could be a grandmaster and it could be a complete noob. I have no idea of this person because it's an anonymous game. So let's do it though. Here we go. All right, Queen's Gambit. I was explaining, this is Queen's Gambit right here. Does he take the pawn? This is Queen's Gambit. He takes it, so it's Queen's Gambit accepted. Now notice, I'm attacking the pawn. Does he try to hold on to the pawn? Terrible move. This guy's going to lose real quick. Watch this. Bye-bye, rook. His best move is actually to hop in here with the knight, and then I take the knight with check, and then he brings the bishop over, and then I simply retreat the queen. This guy's already going to lose. It's so funny. I literally just got, can everyone see the screen all right? Because this is like funny. Like I literally just got done earlier talking about this exact line. I was like, you better not try to hold on to the pawn. I was like, you better not try to hold on to the pawn. If you try to hold on to the pawn, you're gonna get roasted. And look at this. Queen hitting the rook. This guy's done. This guy's done. You know, like what's he gonna do? Yeah, what is that? What does that do? What does that do? That doesn't do anything. I win the rook. You can bring the bishop over here. I'll take the pawn. You know, like what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? This game's over. He tried holding on to the fucking pawn. You don't hold on to the pawn. It's greedy. It's a greedy pig move. Yeah, you don't. It's a gambit for a reason. You're gambiting the pawn. You got to give it. If you do it, if you accept it, if you take on c4, you have to just let it go. Or you could just not take, and you could just do normal development. All right. So he's going in for this line. Let's see. What do we got here? Let's I could just push actually. This is kind of cool. It's a little wonky though. I want to make this clean. I want to make this as clean as possible. And I'm a little close to getting my piece trap, by the way. So how do I do this? How do I handle this? I forget. There is definitely a line. Am I actually gonna fuck up here a little bit? Let's see. I think I just what? If I attack here, so I push up, bishop over, and then what is the line? There's definitely there's a line here. He can't get away with this. Is it just rook up? Maybe I sack the rook? That might be best. No. All right, this is crazy. This is really crazy. Why am I forgetting this line? All right, there's a certain move order I need to play here, or else I'm toast. Because we got pawn up, and then oh, he can't move the bishop. Duh! The bishop is pinned to the king. Holy shit! That's right. What am I fucking thinking? What am I thinking? All right, that's absurd. That is just so. All right, I'm pissed about that now. I'm pissed. I'm pissed about that. All right, we're going in for the kill. The bishop is pinned. Oops. The bishop is pinned to the king. Duh. Oh man, I forgot about that. Like dude, this is chess 101. I'm supposed to be a chess instructor, IRL. This is like my job, and I'm like forgetting this most basic line. God, he can't get away with this. There's no way this works. I've run it through the computer engine many times. I've analyzed this position many times. All right. Now I get a counterattack going. So let's see. I believe, I think I can even just take the rook. Or take the pawn. Yeah, I can just take the pawn. Or is it better, because the bishop's pinned, or is it better to hop the knight in here? I'm just going to, you know what? This is my style right here. I'm just going to do this because now I have, look, 2 pieces hitting the knight. And he's only got 1 defender. So what's he going to do? And his bishop can't move. Oh, he's going to go in for all this craziness? All right, well, I think now I just take this pawn. And I got to be careful. I got to be careful here, because this guy's really so he can move his bishop now. All right, so I just retreat all the way. I think I could throw a counterpunch at his queen. That's the other idea. But I think I'm just going to simply go. I'm going to go back. What's he? Yeah, I'm going to go back. I don't want to get too fancy. I don't want to complicate this situation. Now he does have this bishop idea, but then I would win the bishop over here. He can't even play this. He still can't play this. Oh, okay, so he's going in for this little cheapo, right? That doesn't impress me, man. It doesn't impress me. All right, so let's see. What do we got here? Oh, I can win his. Oh, I can almost win it. Yeah, I can win his queen. So I'm gonna. This is gonna be a cool sequence. So check this out. So look at this. Look how pretty this is now. Now, sure, he's gonna get this check in, right? But I simply move up, right? I move my king either here or here, d2 or e2, and then he's, there's no way for him to stop this. If he tries blocking with the bishop, I take it. Yeah, he left. He couldn't handle it. This dude couldn't even fucking handle it. How about that? How about that? And this is why you never hold on to the pawn in Queen's Gambit Accepted. This is what I've been telling people over and over. And people are like, no, I want to be a greedy pig. I want to hold on to the pawn. You can't hold on to the pawn. And look, we'll go through it one more time. We'll throw it just one more time because this is a really important concept. All right, we'll do the analysis real quick. All right, super important. You can't be a greedy pig in chess. So claim victory. Yeah, I'll take my victory. And then we go to analysis board. And look at this, right? All right, so we're going to go all the way back. All right, so he takes, right? This is called Queen's Gambit. Any of you who've seen the show, Queen's Gambit, this is called Queen's Gambit Accepted, right? So this is Queen's Gambit when there is this tension between the two pawns, right? There's tension between these two pawns. And if they take, that's Queen's Gambit Accepted. And if they just support the pawn, that's Queen's Gambit Declined, right? So he decided to take, which is fine, but you have to allow this pawn to fall. If you try to hold on to it, you're going to get in big trouble, right? So I develop. Now notice when I push e2, when I push to e3, e2 to e3, I'm opening up a discovered attack on their pawn, right? So I'm opening up a discovered attack on their pawn. So now I'm ready to capture the pawn, right? So to gain it back, right? Typically in this situation, someone will play like this, or they'll play like this, right? These are like common moves, right? But here the dude really fucks up and plays b5, right? You can't play b5 here because of this idea, right? Well, look, and the computer says it's the best, the number one move, right? This big arrow indicates it's a number one move, and that's what I make, right? And now he gets really messy, right? So he does this, and look at that, the computer evaluation, right? Right now I'm up 0.9, which is almost a whole pawn, right? Even though I'm technically down a pawn, right? I'm up a pawn according to the Stockfish 14's analysis, the chess engine, right? Here I take. He takes, and then look at this. Now I'm up 6 fucking points because I'm going to win a piece, right? My queen is on this amazing diagonal. Everything's going to fall, right? She's trying some shit. Doesn't work. None of this is going to work. What do they like best here? Oh, they like my knight move best. Cool. And the other move I was considering, which was d5. I was considering d5. They like that second best. That's cool that they like my knight move. All right. Then he plays this, and let's see. I do exactly the best move. Yeah, look at the big arrow. Look at the big arrow right there. I make the best move right there, right? So I'm making all the best moves. Now the bishop's pinned, right? Now, okay, so now, let's see. I brought the rook back. Yeah, they don't really like bringing the, I mean, it's the difference between 10.6 and 9.4. It's 1 anyway, right? I was contemplating taking with the knight because I would be throwing a punch at the queen, but I didn't want to get into any further complications. I just wanted to keep it simple, right? Move your piece to safety, right? He jumps in. Now I bring my rook up here, and now I'm up 16.6, and he leaves. He leaves the game. So that's it. Now you know about Queen's Gambit. All right. Okay. Let's see. Nope to Steve, you say Terror Time versus Chris Brown. He won't stand a chance. No way. Chris Brown would not stand a chance against Terror Time. Terror Time is serious. Terror Time is a very serious dancer. Okay. So yeah, I always come out here. I'm full of life and energy. Those of you who don't know me, like I'm a high energy guy. I like to come out here and really espouse philosophy and discuss chess and basketball and passions and just get things really excited, and get people, real riled up and ready to go. And then we slow things down. We lower the intensity. And we travel within to the place of peace and love in our hearts. Find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged. Or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. Take a few slow, deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture and closing your eyes. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, slowly raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, slowly lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, raising your belly. Exhale, lowering your belly. Breathe in, raising your abdomen. Breathe out, lowering your abdomen. Keep your awareness on your breath count. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Visualize yourself sitting on the tallest mountain peak. watching the clouds float through the sky beneath you. Two clouds move together and merge into one. And one cloud stretches apart, dividing into two. These clouds float through the sky before disappearing over the horizon. These clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being and exist for a while in conscious awareness before disappearing from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Stay focused on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds floating through the sky and disappearing from your mind. And keep your focus on your breath. Your essence is love. Your love is manifested as light. your purpose is to shine your light on others. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until the whole world is glowing radiantly as one once again. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Stay focused on your breath. For this next part, I'm going to play the Amitabha Buddhist chant. It has a chime that rings every 2 seconds, which will help you regulate your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Stay focused on your breath count. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, picture them as clouds floating through the sky before disappearing over the horizon, and return your focus to your breath. In your mind, picture something that you are grateful for. It could be a person, a place, or a state of affairs. Focus on that which you picture. And focus on your breath. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your breath. Be one with your breathing. Be one with your breath. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the love which emanates from this location. And the warmth which surrounds your love. Allow yourself to experience the perfect peace that resides here. And the joy which accompanies it. Here in this place, you are one with the divine. In this place, you remember your eternal nature. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which hinders your evolution. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, picture them as clouds moving through the sky, before disappearing over the horizon. And return your focus to your breath count. On your next breath, travel all the way down to your center point. The centermost point of your being. Feel the perfect oneness that resides here. For this place is filled with love. Fear is not welcome here. And opposites cannot enter this location. For in this place, you are one with the source of all creation. Being love, you flow eternally from this source. Focus on your center point. And when you're ready, travel through. I'll see you on the other side. Here, at your center point, you remember your true identity. At your center, you recall how you came to be. Here, at your center point, you remember your divine purpose. To spread love and light to all those whom you encounter. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego, which blocks your third eye vision. Focus on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not judge them. Simply picture them as clouds floating out of your consciousness. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit to you. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all ego, which obstructs your third eyesight. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all fear and worry from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment, bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing the sacred space with me. I am honored and humbled to be here with you as your meditation guide. I hope you feel more peaceful and centered than you did prior to the meditation. And I hope you can use the tool of meditation to regulate your internal state when you are in a challenging position. How was that for everyone? How was that for everyone? Let's see, I'm going to pause this. That was a 26-minute... No, that was way longer than 26 minutes. But I played the Amitabha Buddhist chant for 26 minutes. And then the first part did not have the chant. So it was probably about a 40 to 50-minute meditation. I feel much more peaceful than I did before the meditation. And I hope you do as well. JT. And when the path leads you onto starlit skies, my breath will follow where I shall not. And when you feel the breeze beneath you, I will lift you up when my hands cannot. The breath is eternal when the form is not. We are when we are not. Wow. Beautiful. My companion fire poet, thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your energy, Agni James. Much appreciated. I'm here to help. That's literally why I'm doing this. I am here on Twitch, streaming guided meditations, to try to help people feel more peace, calm, and love in their lives. So if I'm able to help in any capacity, then I feel like I'm serving my purpose. I'm fulfilling my function in life. So thank you, JT. All right. We're ready for the next segment. In the next segment, we read from one of the greatest books ever written, Lao Tzu's masterpiece, the Tao Te Ching. 81 verses, we read one verse per day. I'm going to have to turn on the light, though. That's something I'll have to do. Let's see how I'm doing on water. I'm good on water. No more breaks. We don't need any more breaks. We could do a little stretching, though. It's good to do a little stretching. You can all see my face again. Here, I can tilt the camera or something so you can all see me. All right, is that better? It's just good to stretch out. Let that energy flow. You can feel it flowing throughout your body. Little stretching goes a long way. Let me tell you. All right. We are ready. Now I need to move this down because whoa, now I look huge. I'm going to look huge for a little while. Can you guys handle it? Can you handle me looking huge? We're going to read from the Tao Te Ching. Maybe I can't even handle myself looking this huge. Let's see. I like to have the top of the Amitabha Buddha's head in the scene. I don't like to have it cut off. It feels weird. Okay, are we ready? Let's do it. Were I possessed of the least knowledge, my only fear when I walk on the great way would be paths that lead astray. The great way is very smooth, yet the people prefer mountain paths. The court is clean swept. The fields are overgrown with weeds. The granaries are empty. Yet there are those dressed in fineries, with sharp swords at their sides, filled with food and possessed of excess wealth. This is known as being a bandit chief. A bandit chief is, indeed, a far cry from the way. And when Lao Tzu says the way, he's referring to the Tao. The Tao is also known as the way. Let's go through that one more time. Were I possessed of the least knowledge, my only fear when I walk on the great way would be paths that lead astray. So he's saying here, if you're on the right path, if you're feeling the Tao, if you are experiencing and living the Tao, the only fear would be that you would lose sight of it, right? It's like if you're feeling perfect love in your heart, right? You just want to maintain that position. You want to maintain that state of pure love and oneness and connectedness with all of creation. Your only fear is that you're going to lose that wisdom to be able to stay in that place, right? The great way is very smooth, yet the people prefer mountain paths. So the great way is going with the flow. If you go with the flow, it's smooth. You're just flowing down the river. You're feeling that love and light. You're connecting with the people around you in positive, beneficial ways. You're producing good in the world. You're helping those around you. It's It's smooth. It's a smooth path. Yet people prefer the mountain path. The court is clean swept. The fields are overgrown with weeds. The granaries are empty. Yet there are those dressed in fineries, with sharp swords at their sides, filled with food and possessed of excess wealth. This is known as a bandit chief. A bandit chief is indeed a far cry from the way. Materialism, right? Those of us who are obsessed with accumulating more and more material objects, having the nicest clothes and the finest homes on the planet and the most cars and the biggest swimming pools, all those things, right? Those are all false paths. Those just lead you from one thing to the next. They'll never truly fulfill you, because you're looking for something external of you, right? If you realize that every single thing you've ever needed to be perfectly happy was already in your heart and could never leave that place, and you have access to it at any given moment, you wouldn't be spending your life going off trying to accumulate as many cars as you could, or going off, spending your life trying to be worth $50 billion. You wouldn't pursue that route because that's not the way. That's not the path to happiness. By pursuing something, it implies that you don't already have that thing within you. So in your mind, you think you don't have that love and that joy, but we do have that within us, and we can access that through meditation and through Qigong and Kumnaye and yoga and all the internal energy arts. We can find that place within us that is pure love and oneness, and we can stay there. We can float down the river. We can go with the flow. We can be in that Zen mindset, and that's what Lao Tzu is referring to here. Okay, so that was verse 16. 16 of 81 we have hit up. All right, let's see what else is going on today. Now it's time for chakra balancing. We are reading from the Sevenfold Journey, Reclaiming Mind, Body, and Spirit Through the Chakras. This was the book that I used when I was in a chakra balancing group years ago to cleanse my chakras. And we are on chakra 2, which is the water chakra. And we're going to go through it. Yesterday we read duality and polarity. And we read emotions. We read the 2 parts on duality, polarity, and emotions. And today we are going to go over the pleasure principle and sexuality. Ooh, interesting. That should be great. Complex as they are, emotions can be seen largely as a reaction to pleasure and pain. We experience pleasant emotions over something that feels good, that goes the way we want, that affirms us in some way. The less pleasant emotions, such as fear or sadness, result from an experience or expectation of pain. They are the energy in motion needed to make a change to avoid that pain, just as emotions of enthusiasm and joy move us towards pleasure. Pleasure and pain are outgrowths of the survival mechanism. When survival needs are properly taken care of, the organism naturally turns toward pleasure. Pain is an indication that something is wrong, that something is threatening our survival. If I hit you or subject you to pain in any way, you will want to pull away from me. When we experience pain, we try to shut down the sensation and subsequently our feelings. Pain makes us contract, withdraw, and pull our energy inward. Pleasure, however, encourages us to expand. If we are having our shoulders rubbed or are being treated to things we enjoy, we tend to relax and allow ourselves to energetically flow and expand. Energy and consciousness are intricately interrelated. If we suppress our feelings, our sensations, and our energetic flow, then we also restrict our consciousness. We limit the amount of change we can experience, and instead, our efforts go into keeping things the same. Pleasure, then, helps us to expand our consciousness. That's interesting. I've never heard that before. That pleasure pleasure elicits expansion. I don't know. What do you all think about that? Do you think that pleasure helps us expand our consciousness? That pleasure helps us grow, and that pain makes us shrink back? It says when we experience pain, we try to shut down the sensation and our feelings. Pain makes us contract, withdraw, and pull our energy inward. I think that can be the case, right? I think that's the case, right? If there's something that's painful, you try to withdraw from it, right? But at the same time, as humans, we have the power of using our mind over matter, right? So we could have a negative stimulus being presented to us, and we could choose to not withdraw from it. We could choose to go into it. I learned this actually years ago. I was doing a yoga video, one of my first yoga videos, and the instructor was saying that we were in a very difficult posture, and there was a lot of tightness and tension that was building up and accumulating in our hips in this posture. I think it was a long hold of frog pose. And the instructor was saying, do not shy away from that tension and tightness in your hips. Instead, do not judge it. Instead, explore it. Go into it. Don't shy away from the pain. And I feel that's a very important life lesson. So I took that concept and I started employing it in the phenomenal world, in the world of sensory experience. I started employing that concept. I started going into areas of tightness and tension, going into painful memories, going into difficult situations, going into traumatic experiences and exploring them and feeling what they were like. And I started doing things like going out in the cold with just wearing boxers, and when it's snowing outside, and just feeling that sensation on my skin and allowing it to be, and not shying away from it. And it's helped me a lot in life. It's aided me, and I think there's a lot to it. It definitely benefits people to not allow yourself to be controlled by pain. All right, we're moving on to sexuality. People like the word sex, and people like sexuality, right? It's a big sex sells. A wise person once told me that. My mother, she told me that sex sells. All right. Pleasure, emotion, duality, and sensation all lead us to sexuality, the expression of opposites merging as one. Sexuality is the experience of attraction, movement, feeling, desire, and connection, all rolled into a joyous experience of pleasure. The sweetness of pleasure is the jewel in the lotus of the second chakra. Ooh, I didn't know that. The sweetness of pleasure is the jewel in the lotus of the second chakra. The Sanskrit name for this chakra, Svadhisthana, which means sweetness, emphasizes this concept. Second chakra practice involves working on the emotions and sexuality and on the fluidity of movement through the body. These are not separate and distinct aspects, but intricately interwoven. Moving the body can bring up buried emotions or sexual desire. Freeing emotions can help the body move more easily and can allow us to be more open to pleasure. Experiencing pleasure can put us in touch with our bodies and help counteract painful emotions. Each practice can enhance the other aspects. Interesting. Huh. So this again ties back into the theme of movement. Movement throughout the body. I like that. It's been a very important, it's been one of the salient concepts of this book. Movement. And I like how they say these are not separate and distinct aspects, but intricately interwoven. Moving the body can bring up buried emotions or sexual desire. That's interesting. Moving the body can bring up buried emotions. I think that's the case. I think that can definitely happen at sometimes, right? Sometimes when I just get up and stretch and move, I'll feel something that I, emotionally that I hadn't been experiencing previously. Experiencing pleasure can put us in touch with our bodies and help counteract painful emotions. Each practice can enhance the other aspects. Beautiful. Yeah. They know their shit. Enodia, Judith, and Celine Vega. These women know their stuff. Beautiful. I hope you all got something out of that. All right. Let's see. It's 12:43. I'm gonna do. We'll do a puzzle rush, and then we'll do Grimm's Fairy Tales, and then we'll call it a day. I think that's a good order of operations. Hold on a second. Let me get it all set up. Got the puzzle rush here. I got 21 last time, which is a legit score. I'm always happy when I get in the 20s. 29 is my high ever. My goal is to break 30. I really want to get to 30. 30 is a cool number to get to. Ooh, a little loud on the mic. All right, maybe you know what, that buzzing is a little too much. I guess I'm not using headphones. I still have to fix this issue. Okay, so yeah, let's see what I can get here. Let's go set it up. Window capture. No, that's not it. We got to mess around a little bit because this is what I got to do. I got to come back here. Sometimes it doesn't like to cooperate. Sometimes OBS Studios doesn't like to do what I tell it to do. So I have a little workaround, and I just do this a little bit, and there we go. Okay, and everything's good again. Everything is good in the kingdom. All right. So how many puzzles can I solve in 3 minutes? How many chess puzzles can I solve? We are about ready to see. So let's do this. Wish me luck. My high is 29. I'm happy if I can get 20 or more on stream. Is this it? Yeah, just like that, I guess. All right. Mate. Checkmate in 2. We take this guy, and then we have a fork, win the bishop. What's going on here? Oh, black to move, yeah. Black to move. Oh, this is the idea. That was a little sneaky. There we go. Mate and one, mate and one, mate and one. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got this idea, and then followed up with this for mate. And we have, win the bishop. Okay. And mate, gotta do this. That for mate. So we'll do this idea. I'll win a queen. I'll win a queen any day of the week. All right. I think, is this just win the knight? No, there's got to be more to it. Oh, because the rook's there anyway, yeah. So, win the queen. All right, there we go. There we go. We're doing good today, by the way. We are doing good. Oh, man. Win the queen. I'm in Zen mode. Yeah, I'm in Zen mode. All right, we'll do this idea. Got to sack every now and then for the mate. Throw this check in. Now we can sack the rook and mate. So this idea, I believe. Yep. There we go. There we go. And the follow-up. Is what is the follow-up move here? It's kind of interesting. Not seeing it. I don't want to waste too much time on this puzzle. But for some reason, yeah, this is a tough one for me to spot right now. Let's see. Is there any final? I guess. Yeah, I'm not seeing this one. All right, whatever. That's just one. Okay. I want to trade. 20. I got 20. Good. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I didn't know time was running down either. I didn't know time was running down. So I got 20. That's always good. All right. Okay. So hey, Taylor Jade, you're back. Was in the pool. Yeah, how was your swim? That's cool that you were in the pool. I got to go swimming today too. I was doing laps. I got a pool in my condo association has a pool, so I got to swim today too. So that was pretty cool. Them bright, focused blue eyes. Yeah. I gotta keep my eyes bright and focused in order to do chess. And if my eyes ever go dim, I can't play chess. It's like one of those things. I like to be a lively guy, but I'm all zenned out. Taylor, we did the meditation, then we read through the Tao Te Ching, and we balanced our chakras. So now I'm all zenned out. We're gonna hop into Grimm's fairy tales now. Amazing book. Good to see you though, Taylor. By the way, it's awesome that you've been stopping by. You and Nope Just Evil. You two are a cute couple. I've never met you IRL obviously, but like I can tell. I like how you interact. I like your dynamic, your relationship dynamic. All right, Grimm's fairy tales. So let's see. We are at the Wren and the Bear. I hope you're all ready for the Wren and the Bear. This is going to be a good one. I can feel it. Sometimes you just feel that one's going to be good. And this one's short too. It's only 1, 2, 3.5. It's just over 3 pages. So this is a short one. And you say, yes, you're going to message me about the books. Yeah. Just send anything you want to me on Discord. You can send anything, or you can always just message me on Twitch. But I'm trying to use Discord more. I think it's important to I want to build a community, and I think it's important to use Discord as a tool to aid in that. All right. Once upon a time, a bear and a wolf were taking a walk in the wood. It was summer, and the bear heard a bird singing most beautifully. He said, "Brother Wolf, what kind of bird is that singing so beautifully?" "That is the king of the birds, and we must bow down to it." But really, it was a wren. "If that is so," said the bear, "I should like to see his royal palace. Come, you must take me to it." "That's not so easy," said the wolf. "You must wait till the queen comes." I don't think I'm doing a good wolf impersonation. How do wolves sound? Like a raspy? Like, that's not... I don't know how a wolf sounds. Like, I can't think of it right now. Like a raspy sound? Like I think it's like a raspy sound. I can't do raspy right now. I'm too zenned out to do raspy. So you're just going to have to bear with me. I'm going to be doing the wrong voice for the wolf. Anyways, that's not so easy, said the wolf. You must wait till the queen comes. Soon afterward, the queen made her appearance, bringing food in her beak, and the king came with her to feed their little ones. The bear would have liked to go in at once, but the wolf held him by the sleeve and said, "No, you must wait till the king and queen fly away again." Ooh, so they couldn't even enter the palace till they left. Interesting. So they marked the opening of the nest and trudged on. But the bear had no rest till he could see the royal palace, and before long he went back. The king and queen had gone out again. He peeped in and saw 5 or 6 young lying in the nest. "Is that the royal palace?" cried the bear. "What a miserable place! And do you mean to say that you are royal children? You must be changelings." When the young wrens heard this, they were furious. Ooh, so he just pissed off the baby birds. He just pissed off the kids. That's no joke. You got to watch out. I mean, this is the king. This is the queen and the king, you know. This is their grandkids. You can't piss them off like that. They shrieked, "No, indeed we're not. Our parents are honest people. We must have this out with you." The bear and the wolf were very much frightened. They turned around and ran home to their dens. Okay, so the little baby birds now just scare the shit out of the wolf and the bear. That's kind of interesting. It's pretty rare nowadays that baby birds they have the ability to scare like wolves and bears, right? But the young wrens continued to shriek and scream aloud. And when their parents came back with more food, they said, "We won't touch so much as the leg of a fly, even if we starve, till you tell us whether we are really your lawful children or not. The bear has been here calling us names." They just ratted out the bear to their parents. This is serious. It's serious when someone rats you out to their parents, right? That's like imagine being a kid and ratting someone out to your parents. Then the old king said, "Only be quiet, and this shall be seen to." So the old king is going to comply. He's like these baby birds are like making a fuss. Like I'm gonna comply to this. Thereupon he and his wife flew off to the bear in his den and called to him, "Old Brune, why have you been calling our children names? It will turn out badly for you, and it will lead to a bloody war between us." So war was declared, and all the 4-footed animals were called together. The ox, the ass, the cow, the stag, the deer, and every other creature on the earth. All right, we got a world war going on between all the wildlife. This is good. But the wren called together every creature which flew in the air. He called not only the birds, both large and small, but also the gnats, the hornets, the bees, and the flies. Ooh. See, I would have also called the mosquitoes. I don't know why he didn't call the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes are good ones to have on your side. When the time came for the war to begin, The wrens sent out scouts to discover where the commanding general of the enemy were to be found. The gnats were the most cunning of all. They swarmed into the wood where the enemy were assembled, and at last they hid themselves under a leaf of the tree where the orders were being given. They're spies. They're spying, and they're gnats, so they can get away with that. The bear called the fox up to him and said, "You are the slyest of all the animals, Renard. You shall be our general and lead us." All right. I mean, I think that's kind of smart, right? Foxes are clever. Everyone knows that foxes are clever creatures. "Very good," said the fox. "But what shall we have for a signal?" Nobody could think of anything. Then said the fox, "I have a fine, long, bushy tail, which looks almost like a red feather brush. When I hold my tail erect, things are going well, and you must march forward at once. But if it droops, you must all run away as hard as you ever can." When the gnats heard this, they flew straight home and told the wrens every detail. All right, this is good intel. They just got great intel on for the war. When the day broke, all the four-footed animals came rushing to the spot where the battle was to take place. They came with such a tramping that the earth shook. The wren and his army also came swarming through the air. They fluttered and buzzed enough to terrify one. And then they made for one another. The wren sent the hornet down with orders to seat herself under the tail of the fox and to sting him with all her might. That's a sneaky move, right? Because if that tail changes position, it's going to send a false signal. That's a sneaky move. When the fox felt the first sting, he quivered and raised one leg in the air. But he bore it bravely and kept his tail erect. Nice! Nice. This fox is no joke. He can deal with the pain. You got to have respect for a fox like that, right? At the second sting, he was forced to let it droop for a moment. But the third time, he could bear it no longer. He screamed, and down went his tail between his legs. Yeah, I mean, eventually, if you're getting stung by a hornet, I mean, it's hard to keep your tail up in a situation like that. When the animals saw this, they thought all was lost, and off they ran helter-skelter as fast as they could, each to his own den. So the birds won the battle. I mean, they had the intel, though. That's the thing. They heard the fox's plan. If you hear the plan of the enemy, it's pretty easy to defeat them, right? So I'm not super impressed, to be honest. I mean, I think strategically, it's a good move to send the hornet down to sting him right under the tail, to make his tail droop. But it's still a little. It's kind of cheap. It's a little cheap, right? Anyways, when it was over, the king and queen flew home to their children and cried, "Children, be happy. Eat and drink to your heart's content. We have won the battle." But the young wren said, "We won't eat till the bear comes here to make an apology and says that we are really and truly your lawful children." Wow, that's an intense thing. They want the bear to come there and apologize. He did kind of, you know what, if you think about it, the bear was being a bit of a dick, right? He's like, him and the fox are like, "Oh, let's just go in. Let's go into the house, we'll go in," or the wolf, right? Yeah, him and the wolf are like, "Well, let's just go into the palace." And then the bear starts insulting the kids. That's kind of ridiculous, right? You don't disrespect someone in their own home. I mean, at the end of the day, if there's anything you learn in life, you don't disrespect someone in their own home. But so anyways, they want the bear to come there and apologize. All right. The wren flew to the bear's den and cried, "Old Brune, you will have to come and apologize to my children for calling them names, or else you will have all your ribs broken." Holy shit. This sounds like mafia type style, right? This is like a mafia stuff. They're talking about breaking the bear's ribs. I mean, do they really have that kind of authority? Do these birds and gnats, can they really break the bear's ribs? I feel like the bear could hold his own. So in great terror, the bear crept to the nest and apologized, And at last the young wrens were satisfied. They ate and drank and made merry till far into the night. What? And here's a picture. Dude, this is fucked up. This doesn't make any sense. The bear could have totally taken down those wrens in that situation. He had home court advantage. The fucking bear had home court advantage. This was his den. This was the bear's den. And, a bear is no joke. It's like a strong beast. I mean, what's the wren going to do? And the wren didn't have his troops with him. The wren didn't have the gnats. He didn't have the hornets. He didn't have any of his troops with him. I mean, I think that's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of like a ridiculous thing that the bear just like laid down and was like, okay, all right, fine, I'll do whatever you say. You're going to break my ribs, like, bird. No way. No way is that bird going to break. Dude, that bear could have one swipe and that wren is done. He could have just wiped out that wren with one swipe. I don't know why that bear cowered down like that. I mean, what, just because the fox's tail went down? Really? I mean, and plus, think about it this way, too. So what? The fox's tail goes down, right? That's like their communication mechanism. What the fox should have done then is just run around till everyone had been like, hey, you know what? It was a mistake. My tail is still up. My tail was supposed to be up, And here's what happened. I got stung by a hornet 3 times, so my tail had to fall down between my legs for a little while, right? And then everyone would be like, oh yeah, like, so we're still winning, and then the fox would be like, yeah, and then they would assemble their troops and they'd go and they'd beat the hell out of those birds and gnats and hornets, right? I think this is fatally flawed. Like this doesn't link with reality at all. I mean, I like most of the Grimm's fairy tales, but I got to tell you, this is the first one that really is rubbing me the wrong way. Like, I mean, the bear, like all the woodland creatures, the bear, the fox, the wolves, like they should totally be able to take down a bunch of birds. I don't know, man. I'm not buying it. What do you guys think of that? Let's see. Nope, just evil. Hey, how's it going, friend? You say, oh, which tale is this? This one is called, it's literally called The Wren and the Bear. The Wren and the Bear. So basically, the bear pissed off the wren's kids. The bear went into the wren's home and insulted their kids. And, it was totally a dick move, but I don't know. I mean, if you're a bear, you're kind of like, you're kind of like, the king, right? I mean, you don't have many natural predators, right? So I guess like the bear is probably used to like doing things like that without repercussions, right? It's like, I'm a big ass bear. No one's going to mess with me. But then, he's still, it's disrespectful to go into the wren's home and then just insult the children, right? So yeah, and then basically war broke out. And then, they tricked the fox, or they stung the fox because they had overheard everything. Because basically it's a long story, or not a long story, but that's basically the gist of it. All right, Taylor Jade, you say, let's see, a wedding next Friday. Awesome, cool. Wait, your wedding? Is it your wedding that's Friday? Are you and Nope Just Evil getting married on Friday, or like what's the deal? Is that your wedding, or are you guys going to like a friend's wedding or like a family member's wedding? Because if it's your wedding, that's amazing. Congratulations. I don't know. I never know whose wedding it is. You say your favorite part is how articulate I am. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I owe a lot of that to analytic philosophy. I took I got my master's in analytic philosophy, and you have to speak very precise, and you have to use very clear, clean language in analytic philosophy. So if I am speaking well, then it's because of that program most likely. And I'm sloppy though. This is Twitch at the end of the day, so I will be sloppy at times. But yeah, I like to try to make things clear. Now, one of the big projects of analytic philosophy was to try to cut out ambiguity and vagueness, right? Because when people typically talk, like for instance, you said right here, wedding next Friday, so this will be fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you're meaning your wedding, right? But I'm not 100% sure, so that's why I asked for a clarification, right? Like, like in language, when people just talk on a day-to-day basis, people are always asking for clarification, right? Because you never know what someone's saying, right? A lot of times someone will say something, you'll be like, wait a minute, do you mean this or this, right? Analytic philosophy is the whole project is to try to like reduce the amount of ambiguity and vagueness, such that when people communicate, everyone knows what everyone else is talking about. It's a cool thing, right? That's analytic philosophy is primarily done in the U.S. and England. And then continental philosophy, obviously, is on the continent, is in Europe, right? That's where they do continental philosophy primarily. Those are like the two competing branches, you could say. and they both butt heads. They both have their heroes and their villains, right? But it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun to be a part of the philosophy world. Okay, all right. Well, I think it's about time to call it a night. I've been streaming over 3 hours. That's a good amount of time. I'm always, if I stream 3 hours, I always feel like I've accomplished a lot. I had 5 workouts today, so I got my workouts in, and I got to stream. It's good when I have a day off, because then I can really be I can focus on self-care, right? And I can stream and I can share peace and love with the people out there. So thank you all so much. I appreciate every one of you. Let's see who we're going to raid. Now this is always a cool moment because we get to see who's out there streaming. Okay, all right. Well, this will be fun. This is going to be fun. So, yeah. DJ Krishan's, otherwise known as Imbalanced Physique, is streaming. He's got one person in this chat. He's streaming Fortnite. He's going to come back as Imbalanced Physique next week. He's reemerging. He took a long hiatus, like 3 months. He was like a solid, consistent streamer. Like he was streaming like every day for a long time. This dude puts his heart and soul into it. So he's got one person in chat. Let's raid him and say a big hi to him. And it was good to see him come back around today. So let's get this all set up. Let's give him some love. I think a lot of people here know Imbalanced. Imbalanced. What? Why is he not coming up in here? Oh, because he's doing it under DJ Krishan's. That was stupid. All right. There it is, DJ Krishan, and he's streaming Fortnite. So we're gonna send him a raid, but let me get my raid call out there so everyone can copy and paste, and we'll come in with a lot of love and kindness, and we will say hi to John. He's a good dude. He's a very authentic guy, really nice human being, and I like how he presents himself. I like how he always says he's an open book, and that's what. So here's the raid call. And thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate all of you. I love you all unconditionally. And I hope you have a wonderful night or morning or day wherever you are in the world. And we're going to send him a big raid. So copy and paste this. And just, be kind and loving to the people around you. Call your mom, call your dad, call your friends, and just to say hi. All right. I love you all. Namaste. Yeah, I love you too, Nope to Evil. I hope you have a good day, man. All right.